are live. I think my picture's tracking. I'm kind of robotic, and that's okay. Nothing new. Thank you, everyone, for joining us and showing up and hanging out with us. We are Enlighten Up Media. This is our Friday Night Live. And joining us. Oh, shit. Sorry. I just put our. I just started hearing my own voice, but from another episode in my ear. Sorry about that. Joining us today is my lifelong friend, Tommy. We've known each other since high school. He's four blocks away, so this is the closest person that I've had on the show yet, which is funny. And then we have Amber in Maui and Shannon in Texas, and and then Tommy and I are here in San Diego. And
Wait, you're in Maui?
yeah.
Yes.
So what's the famous song? Makaliki. How do you say it? Merry Christmas?
Mele Kiliki Maka.
Mele Kiliki Maka. Yeah,
Yes.
something like that. Yeah, I that's a famous song, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I always loved that song. So have you heard that like 472 times in the last week?
Actually, I haven't heard it once, I don't think.
Really?
No, except
everybody just says happy holidays. Everybody just says happy holidays.
Oh yeah, I mean I've heard it. I've Mele Clicky Maka. Yeah, I've heard it a few times, but surprisingly, a lot of people say Merry Christmas. I was surprised.
Oh, right on.
But yeah,
interesting.
Or some people just don't celebrate it over here.
Right on. Hey,
are we really blurry?
Is your thing behind you glowing?
Me?
No, Amber.
Oh, yes. It's a light. Yeah, it's like one of those aura lights.
She's
okay.
Just really.
I'm on your stream for the first time. I thought maybe they're doing something to me already.
You're feeling it.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm, and I just had to double check. And I used to do a lot of LSD back in the 80s. So you never know.
Shut up. Okay, there's Emily. Hey, Emily, are we blurry? Because when I looked at the stream right now, we were blurry.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but that might be because it doesn't matter. Okay. Hey, Tiger Paw. Y'all, can you guys see the chat?
Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah, see, another reason why we like.
That's nice.
Okay. Yes. Okay, and nobody's lagging, right, Tommy? You can. Oh, you're not streaming. That's right. Yeah, Tommy was explaining some things to me that he streams to YouTube Shorts, and so that when people are looking at the shorts, they can see there's a live, and then sometimes you get more. It pushes you out a little bit. But
and YouTube's promoting YouTube Short live right now. They want creators to do more YouTube live shorts.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I guess we think that I would have to be doing this from my phone. So, and I like doing it from my corner of my loft computer.
Yeah, and I don't know what Restream would look like on your phone,
Yeah. No, I need the big screen. So right before we got on, Tommy was telling us about his Tommy's here with Mariah Carey today, and he's painting.
Beautiful.
I'm painting. Yeah.
He's painting. And he was telling us why that he had been okay, sorry, Tommy, you tell us why it's Mariah Carey today.
Oh, for the holidays. So I decided with my collection of art, which is a lot in the last 10 years, I became a full-time artist 10 years ago. And scaled down everything in my life so I could paint for the rest of my life, right? I got my hands tattooed shortly after that. Because I'm like, no point in not showing tattoos now,
Yeah.
So in my collection, though, I don't really have a lot of women. Just a couple select women here and there, like Wonder Woman or something like that. And so I wanted to do a collection of R&B divas. And so I've done from Whitney to Mariah, Beyonce, everybody in between. And Mariah was the last one. She's the last one. I saved her for Christmas because of her famous Christmas song and stuff. And it's coming along good. It's coming along swimmingly. Hopefully I'll finish it tonight or tomorrow.
Wow, it's beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very, very much. Are you guys reading chat too?
Yes. Yeah, well, and I'm still trying to figure out why I look like a robot. Besides the obvious.
It's okay. It's the holidays. Tell them that it's special effects. It's AI.
But I sound okay, right? Like I don't sound like I'm lagging.
You sound fantastic.
Is that John? Hi, John.
How you doing?
It is. I'm showing you the painting of Mariah Carey.
Oh, hey, John.
It is beautiful.
Thank you. There's more to it. It's just this is about halfway. This is about the halfway point. Yeah.
It's
the good
so
stuff's
good.
below, huh?
Yeah, well, yeah. It's fun to paint that part of the body most of the time with these ladies. So, but no, yeah, it's simple. It's just a very simple bottom because I want the focus to be on her face.
Yeah.
So at my bakery,
Cool.
Tommy has done quite a bit with us at the bakery. He just recently finished the entire side of our building with these gorgeous, humongous, super colorful flowers, a hummingbird. What else is on there?
I
feel like there's
just
butterfly?
a lot of flowers and
Yeah.
foliage. Yep.
Foliage.
And yeah. But there's a big hummingbird where I'm going back to finish. I want to do a giant bumblebee and then put in some butterflies for the kids, stuff like that. So it's oversized, so when you're driving down the street, like the flowers are literally like about 4 feet tall, So
Wow.
each flower, it's very pretty. Yeah.
You don't have a picture to show us, Kimberly?
You can go to fabcakegirls.com and check it out. No, I'm just kidding.
There you go.
That's true. Well, you can go to Tommy's. You can go to Tommy's page at the block.
Yeah.
I'm
My
putting it
Instagram
on
is
here.
the block. So THA though. THA.
Yeah, I'm putting it on here.
And because I stream on multiple platforms, a lot of stuff on my Instagram isn't just regular art. It's also commentary from an artist. So it's just a bunch of crazy stuff. Okay. Artists are insane. So we are.
Here we go. It's up now. Okay, so there's Tommy, the block. But you also helped us do quite a few Food Network episodes for 2 seasons. And Tommy put Seymour from Little Shop of Horrors on our walk-in door. So we have a humongous what are they called? What are those plants called?
What, Seymour?
Yeah.
I mean, flytrap.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So we have Seymour is featured on our walk-in door. So he's humongous, taller than us. And then surprised me and put the Goblin King from Labyrinth on the inside of my office door.
That's
so
cool.
I have the Goblin King.
And then one day I was at the shop, just I'd go and hang out with the girls and just laugh and goof off with them. And I was leaving and I said, man, I looked at the chocolate sculptures and I was like, yeah, that doesn't look too hard. I think I could do that. And they were like, really? And I was like, yeah, that looks easy. And I get a call from Kim like maybe about 6 weeks later. Hey, we're really swamped right now. Do you think you could come down and design chocolate? And I was like, sure. Yeah, no problem. And I got there. Oh my gosh. The hardest thing I've ever done creatively in my life. And then I look at the girls when they're doing theirs. They're doing like 3 or 4 or 5 cakes, and I'm just barely finishing what I'm doing, and I look at how fast and talented and amazing they are, and it's very overwhelming. And I'm just grateful to be in that company. Like that. Kim and Jen really help. I mean, they trust me enough to let me help. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Well, my partner Jen and I realized years ago that our talented girls that we hired, and then Tommy, are better than us, and so we just let them do most of the actual sculpting and things like that, and then we I mean, we still all contribute, and I do the deliveries. Like I've pulled back so much from the 3D world that I just go in on the weekends and deliver cakes. But yeah, it's when I do put my foot back into like actual job world, being in a room with people doing what they were born to do, like their purpose, and with just they're humble and kind and super talented, and it's like it's mind-blowing. And so it's really there is a really cool vibe. Like I'm very lucky that's still part of my life.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah, I love it when I'm there. Like it's one of my favorite places to be.
I just
Just because it's just I don't know. I mean, it's just a happy place for me. You know what I mean? As a creative
yeah.
and also as somebody who likes to make people laugh, everybody there has a great sense of humor. So and they don't let me get away with everything that comes out of my mouth.
Yeah, we call you on it constantly. um well, yeah, so there's that. Like
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
typically talk about work, but I am very lucky to be
Sorry.
part. No, 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 you're here and you're a huge part of it, and you shot a bunch of episodes with us when we
Yeah, the
when we
directors came
manifested
in
that.
and they were like, "That guy, we need his face on camera." And so
Yes, we
Ken and Jim, they had to pay me a lot to do those shows. I'm talking a lot.
yeah, no,
How do we get to see these shows?
none of us got paid for those shows.
We didn't get paid. We didn't get paid. I'm
No,
kidding.
nothing against the Food Network, but
And the directors were wondering why I was there in the first place. So yeah.
no,
No,
no.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. We all
Oh,
had
yeah, because
that
you
was
weren't on the
fun
fifth
too.
season. Mm,
Yeah,
yeah,
I don't know if you can even find them on the internet or anything. I don't know if they're out there anymore. Food
they
Network
are.
might
They are.
have
But
might have it. Yeah.
it was okay, and then we're gonna end this part. It was
Sorry.
no, Tommy, don't apologize for anything.
Uh,
But we'll just talk about other cool stuff. But it was
yeah.
Ridiculous Cakes season 1 and 2, and then we won Cake Wars 3 times. So we're the champions at Cake Wars, and those are still on. And when it goes to the cooking channel, it's another dumb title. So it's not Ridiculous Cakes, it's something else, and I don't remember what it's called. Did you help us, Tommy, um, prep or test all the crazy concepts for baconeering? I
For
think
what?
that's Baconeering. That's that show on Netflix. It was during COVID, so probably not. Huh?
I don't remember.
Yeah,
Maybe.
the um, the producer of I'm not going to be able to say. So, okay, doesn't matter. This guy has a bunch of like really really well known like the original. I know Pities and Parolees was one of his shows. That's why I respected him. But what was the original cooking show that they would give you a weird ingredient and then you would have to cook?
Oh yeah, chef. Um. Um. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
The
Okay,
Top Chef or no?
yeah, one of
Yeah,
those. Okay, so
it
this
was
man
like
was
that. Yeah.
he was a producer for all these shows, and then Melissa, who Tommy was referring to before, is one of our producers. He asked her for a company to help him try out all these ideas for the show called Baconeering, which is, Emily, you're right, it was taking the baking and engineering and marrying the two and then making these. It was a competition, and so we prepped a mini golf. We did an earthquake table, an outfit We put Jen's daughter in a complete outfit, edible outfit. Not, I mean, in a very tasteful way. Um, what are some of the other ones? Oh, I can't remember the name of it. It doesn't matter. Okay, it doesn't matter. Anyway, that one was, we didn't actually go on the show. We just tested all the ideas before it went out, and that saved our company probably during COVID because we did get paid for that.
I had a friend on that show,
Oh yeah. Oh, okay.
Brandy
Yeah.
Romaines. She went, I think she came in second or third on, I think it was the first one where you're paired with an engineer and you build yeah, like she's from my hometown.
Mhm.
And I know her and her sister. We went to school and church together when we were kids. And yeah,
Oh,
that's
good for
Oh,
wild.
her.
awesome.
It's
That's pretty cool.
reality shows, reality TV, completely fake. Like, except for you showing up, they're telling you pretty much what to say the entire time. But the competition part of it, 100% real.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so yeah, good for her. Yeah, Iron Chef was the other one. You're right. He probably did all those shows. His name was Michael something. But yeah, so that was cool. So we once we got to the hey, can we come down to you guys and record and put you on some episodes? We're like, yes, and this is all we're doing moving forward. Like going and because Jen and I actually did our first competition 15 years ago, where we went to Colorado, and it was some some competition. I don't know. That was the first thing we ever did, and learned that we were good, but we have a lot to learn. And then they took it real serious afterwards and won every one of them. So, okay. Anyway, uh,
But there's some good souls at Cake. I think, the girls they're just a very cohesive group, you know,
with good sense of
and
humor
yeah,
and lots of talent. It's Fab Cakes if anybody wants to follow. It's the Fabulous Cake Girls on Instagram.
yeah, the Fab Cake girls. Yeah.
Yeah. I used to do I used to manage it, and then our sculptor about a year or two ago said that she wanted to take over, and I was like, go ahead. And there's been like 6 pictures since. So just Sammy. So just know that it used to be very current and constant, and now I don't know. You're on your own, y'all. I, I moved over here. I got my own stuff. I'm editing my own videos and promos and stuff, and I've moved. This is my manifestation that I'm feeding. Speaking of, Shannon and I are going to take over the world in about a year and a half, I think.
Maybe sooner.
2 Oh, okay, cool. Well, everyone's invited.
Join us.
Join us. Yeah. Oh, is anybody in the chat coming to the conference in May in Sedona? They put it in there if you are. We're I can tell you a place to look at to stay if you're interested. Tommy, you want to ride with us?
To Sedona? I'll go to Sedona anytime. I
Yeah,
love Sedona.
6 hours of vintage Christmas music and fart jokes.
Sounds right up my alley.
that's what Forrest shares.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
have permission to go to the conference? Is that what you're asking, Tiger Paw? Not sure. Oh, you're off the 15. We'll pick you. Okay, well, yeah. I just need to rent a big bus, and then we'll just bring everybody.
Pick everybody up on the way.
Yeah, cool. If anybody is coming, because there are people that are going to listen to this afterwards, after the live. Sedona Pines Resort, look that up. It is so freaking cute. Every place, there are no rooms. They're all little houses, like 1-bedroom houses with a full kitchen, and it's like the best kept secret of Sedona as far as I'm concerned, and it's 6 minutes away from the conference. So if anyone is interested, check that out. And the rates are really good right now. It's a timeshare, so you don't always get in when you want to, but we typically stay there when from we have been staying there the last few times, and I got lucky and looked ahead and it was available, and so we have Team Light and I have saved some rooms there, and Shannon's coming. Shannon got her rooms. Amber,
Nice.
we will totally put you up. So if you want to come
Oh,
out,
Amber, we have space for you too if you want to.
Yeah.
Good to
If
know.
you need a
Thank
place to
you.
crash.
I'm saying that because
we
I know
could-
it would be a last minute thing for you to be able to come
Yeah.
out. So yeah, okay.
But thank
We
you.
got a
That'd be fun.
2-bedroom, and it's so nice. Like Kimberly sent it over, and it's got 2 bedrooms, and then it also has like the couch and the whole kitchenette set up. So
I couldn't believe it when I got it for $100 the first time we stayed, and I was like, "This is a house, like a full everything." And it's kind of like an Airbnb, and so there's stuff in the kitchen for you to use. Way beyond a coffee maker. There's like pans and cups and plates, and like it's really like you're staying in an apartment. It's very cool. Anyway, just putting that out there.
Very cool.
Tommy, where did you just get back from?
Oh, I went to the Dominican Republic again.
Again.
Yeah, I have to throw the again in there so that people don't think it was my first. It was amazing. I miss the weather. There's something about that really hot, humid weather that I just love, and my body loves it. I don't feel like an old man when I'm in that weather. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's I don't know what it is, but and then everybody there is amazing. My sister is dope, and she does dope stuff. So we go, we fly first class, and we stayed at an all-inclusive resort that's it was so big we would have to call my sister's butler to ask for our cart to pick us up to go back up towards the lobby. Like if we were going to go somewhere, do something, or that's where the restaurants were up by the lobby, and we were by the beach. So we'd have to call a car. I mean, you could walk it, of course, but with my sister's VIP status, why would you just call the butler? But the resort is really amazing. It's an H10 resort in Punta Cana, and
they speak Spanish?
No, well in Dominican they speak Spanish. On the resort they speak English. Well, you have to learn the colors of the shirts. You know what I'm saying? The white shirts, not so much, because they work out in the grass and everything like that, and they like keep everything nice and clean and stuff. And I don't think they're required to know English. But everybody else knows English, but they speak Spanish there. And because of the way my sister and I look, they all think we're Dominican. I mean, her and I are Dominican, so they come up to us and they just start speaking Spanish, and and their Spanish is real fast. We live in Southern California, so I know a little Spanglish. You know what I mean?
We know everything in the kitchen.
Right. I can pick like every other word or every couple of words and kind of put it together, and okay, I understand. But they would come up to me and speak so fast, you were like, what? No hablas español. And they were like, yes, you do. And then I was like, no. And they were like, where are you from? And I was like, California. And they go, what? You're not from here? And no.
Yeah.
No. They're like, you look like you could be my brother.
No,
but everybody was real nice. Downtown Punta Cana is really, really nice and safe. We left the resort a couple of times, and then we went into the neighborhood. We had like my sister's friend, because my sister goes often, and her friend took us out one night, and we went into the neighborhood and went into this little corner store, and there was 4 or 5 dudes playing dominoes in the store, and on this little table, sitting on little kid chairs or whatever, smoking cigars, and it was kind of like a scene in a movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and,
that's cool.
It was real cool. So, and that's why I like traveling. I like meeting people and hanging out with locals, and then going back and seeing them again, and and the food is amazing. The food on my sister's resort is amazing. It was so good. Yeah. So, but she's a VIP, so there's like a VIP kind of area in a VIP restaurant that you can go to, and anytime, and you don't need a reservation or anything. But yeah, it's cool. It was fun, a lot of fun, and I got to hang out with my sister for a whole week. That's like my best friend. So
Aw,
yeah.
very sweet. You had pictures of you guys jumping in a water, like a.
Oh, that was Tulum.
Oh, okay, okay, never
Yeah,
mind.
in the cenotes.
Hmm.
Now you talk about like feeling like you're going back into history, jumping in a cenote and then going underground in the cenote, in still in the water, but you're in these caves and they've been there for hundreds of thousands of years or whatever. It's incredible. And the water is there's nothing to contaminate the water except for stupid humans. But the water's like so clean and so clear, you can see all the way down, unless you're in like a deep one, but you can see all the way down and see the rocks, and everything is beautiful. But that's fun, jumping like 20-30 feet off a cliff
Hmm.
into water.
Okay. Yeah. Ooh, yeah.
A lot of
That's
fun.
courageous.
Nah, it's wild because you're like, wait a minute, you jump and then you're like, where's the water? Where's the water? Oh my God, where's the water? You're like, oh my God. Because you're so expecting the water to come, but it's so high up. You're just, it's so cool. It was very
Ooh,
cool.
like a free fall for a minute.
Yeah.
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 Emily, what part of Mexico are you going to be in? And Tiger Paw. Yeah, you would. The conference starts on the 8th, so you would be. If your daughter's birthday is on the 8th, then Sedona's a pretty good place to go for your birthday, though. Like, you might be able to talk her into it. Well, when Amber comes back, I was just going to ask her. She shared a picture of the volcano going off 3 days ago. It was beautiful. So I was
No
going to ask her
way.
about that. And then Shannon and I had a cool, like, I don't know
Dream
what
experience.
is that. Would it be? Yeah, yeah. I woke up this morning and I left her a voice message, and I was like, so we were together. We were together last night, and I so okay. So I saw Shannon in this like golf cart esque kind of, not an actual golf court, but I saw her in something, right? And what did I tell you? You kept referring to it as your movie cart, not moving, but
Yes.
movie cart. And Shannon was involved in building, creating this like not conference center, but a special event center. And I saw a big movie screen and an audience location, but I only saw one of those. And then at one point, I saw you choosing the ladder that you wanted to use, and I was like, I don't know why I needed to include this, but it was a big part of it. And then it was because you needed to be able to access materials and books in a library type environment. And that and I know you were in charge of it. Like, this is something that you were creating. You're really proud of it. It was a really fun feeling, like you doing your life's purpose and manifesting something great. And then right at the end, I woke up a few times, and I was able to fall right back asleep, and go right back into whatever this was, which is impressive because a lot of times you lose, like if you were dreaming, you'll lose it. And then right at the end, you were getting mad because there were like 3 or 4 other little carts, and they were going too fast, and you didn't want them to hit your cart because you really liked your cart. So I left her this message this morning, and I guess I was super accurate.
She was. And it's funny because I was telling Spencer is here visiting, and I was telling him, and he's like, I think she like recapped our whole week. And I'm like, yeah, I think she did. So the library part, Tuesday, I went to our local library and got my library card there. And, we were there and we went up to this reference section. Spencer's getting his degree in horticulture, so he wanted some books on native plants from around here. And so he went and did that. And then we never watch TV, we never watch movies, but for the last couple days, we've watched more movies and more TV than probably in like the last 6 months. John wanted to watch Love Actually on Christmas because that's his favorite Christmas movie. And I'm married to a very sentimental, emotional Pisces man. And so we watched that. And then we watched more movies. And then I walked around the house and sent her a picture of my John Deere side by side, which is like one of my most favorite things in the world is to drive around in the side by side.
And
So
I had
yeah,
no idea that you had one of
yeah,
those. Yeah.
it was just like a recap of the week, and we have two. The boys have one, and so when she was talking about another one, there's like one at their place has a flat tire right now. But yeah, it was like a recap of the entire week. I was cracking up because he came around the house while I was taking a picture of the. I don't know how pictures work on this, but like this is my side by side.
Yeah.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
I want one.
And so she had this dream, and I'm like, well, that makes a lot of sense. The other thing is our friend Gio was here not long ago, and he was talking about how much he loved our ladder. I didn't text you that part, but this was like, it was last week. So last week he came over, and we have this really funky ladder that is like adjustable. So you can like make it different heights and different sizes. And it's really nice, like when you're hanging stuff up high. And he was like, I love your ladder, but it's not as cool as the ladder in your dream. But I forgot about that part.
Okay. Yeah, that was cool. It was like you were choosing which one that you wanted to use for this project. And I was like, why is this such an important focus? But I, at the time of the dream or astral travel, I'm sure is what it was. It had like a square base that was on wheels, and then the ladder was on that, and then there was this bar that came off the ladder and made a circle, and you would actually get into that part, and then you could move this way, you could move it. So it was like for large jobs, I guess, and that's the one that you picked. But yeah, I sometimes I'll wake up and call and leave messages for my friends and just tell them this dream that I had, because it was all about you. It was like I was watching you move through something that was happening in your life, and so I was like from an observer stance. Although I do believe that you and I were talking to each other and interacting at times, because it didn't seem like I was only watching. But yeah, it was cool. It was cool. So maybe you're going to create an event center.
I'd be down for that. That would
Yeah.
be fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was so funny because I was listening to your message and you were like, a ladder, like a library to get reference material and books. And we had gone into the library, went to the front desk. We're like, where do you all have a section that's like on Hill Country, the local area here in Texas, like reference books? And she's like, yeah, upstairs. It's called the Texana section. And, she gave us directions and we went up there.
Wow.
And
Wow.
Oh, I'm psychic, by the way, Tommy.
No, I know. Just don't you freaking get in my mind, man. Don't you freaking get in it.
That's not how it works.
You might not come back. No, I'm just kidding.
Everybody has free will.
No, I know that's not how it works.
Yeah.
But no, I already know, Kim. We've talked.
I know. Yeah, Tommy was the only one that knew for a while, and one of my decorators. Yeah, that was interesting. I love waking up and like having that feeling where like when you have full recall of something like that, it's usually an astral travel type situation, and everything is very real, and then you can keep it going. And I believe the reason I was able to wake up and go back into it, not even trying, just like going right back in, is because I was observing something that was still happening that you were part of. That was cool.
Do you think you have more of a connection with someone that you know or a stranger? Or it just depends?
It doesn't matter. But there are certain people that I can read for really, really well. So Amber and I actually met here in San Diego like 2 summers ago, I think, on a delivery.
Okay.
She was it's funny, we hardly ever get cake orders for this place that we have called Marina Village, which is like a series of convention rooms, over by the beach.
Yep.
Yeah. And
Right
that,
across from my old pad.
yeah. And that this one weekend, I saw that there was going to be a psychic fair at Marina Village. And I was like, oh, maybe I'll go after my deliveries, whatever. I usually do the beach deliveries. And then I saw that we actually had a delivery in that space. And I was like, I'll take that one. So when I was done, I just walked in and I was listening to our friend who is the creator of Team Light, Rion. I was listening to him. And when I walked into the psychic fair, she was the second table in and she was wearing a Team Light sweatshirt. And I was like, well, how? What? And so anyway, that Amber and I met here, but that was it. And then she went back to Hawaii. And so our entire friendship since has been over Zoom and, doing podcasts and stuff. But right away, I was able to read for her and her partner, Jay, really well. Like I get a lot of messages for them. And she'll wake up and say, Kimberly's going to contact me today. She knows about something that's going on. And then later on, and she won't say anything to me. And then a few hours later, I'll leave her a message like, hey, something's going on.
That's
But
crazy. That's
yeah.
awesome.
Shannon and I work really well together. So I wasn't surprised when I had this dream and then you confirmed everything. So I don't know. At first I wasn't sure if I'd be able to read for anybody that I knew. And
Right.
then I did, and it was so accurate and strong because I had gotten far enough along to realize that when I intuitively channel information, it's from, I used to call it a room. I don't know what to call it really. It's like this, it's not like just your imagination. Like if you think about when someone describes something to you. So if people couldn't see what you were doing, I would say Tommy's painting a picture of Mariah Carey. It's a close up. She has red lips, whatever. So in your mind's eye, you can see what I'm saying.
Right.
Channeling intuitive information is very similar to that, except you realize that you have nothing to do with what you're seeing. So you're seeing it in the same way that you go throughout your daily life of imagining things when people are talking to you, but you realize that you're watching it in like an objective observer stand. So
Right.
because of that, I am able to read for people that I know, and I don't ever think to do it when I'm just having a conversation with somebody. Like it's not
Right.
part of it. Like
But do things come to you when you're having conversations with people?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
figured.
But what I realize is it's been happening my whole life. I just always thought I was able to hone in on helping people, and like hearing what they were saying or what they weren't saying or what they were lying to themselves about, which,
Right.
I do myself, or I mean, we've all done that kind of stuff. But then when I took a gamble and shared on a live with my friend Sage on TikTok, shared what I had seen and it was 100% accurate, I was like, wait a minute, I always see stuff like this, but not, so if I'm in a conversation with somebody in the room and we're just talking about small talk, I'm not channeling. But when someone's telling me about their problems, I can zero in really quick, and it goes way beyond just pattern recognition.
Right.
And although at this point, anybody that's awake knows that there's a rule book of trauma, and there's like the 10 major, big hitters. And when someone starts talking about one of those, it's really easy to offer them advice on how to get themselves out of it if they just are willing to do it.
Right on.
It doesn't change very much. Like everyone's personal experience is different, but if someone starts talking about domestic violence,
Yeah.
The perpetrator is hitting the top 10 list that every asshole hits. And so it's really easy to not, shouldn't say it like that, but
I understand what you're saying.
yeah,
Yeah, I could dig it. I
yeah.
could dig it. Yeah, I mean somebody told me a long time ago. So the first time I had a reading, I was with my friend Sean Lee. He used to play for the Chargers, right?
Uh-huh.
And he took me to
Yeah.
he took me with him to go get a reading. And he told me about this lady and stuff, and I'm super skeptic. I'm like, this is some voodoo weird witchcraft stuff, homie. I'm not doing this. But so I went in, and she did his reading first, and I still was skeptic at that time. I was kind of like, yeah, I mean, what you said is, it's not like spot on, but anybody, I could do that with a little practice. And you've been doing this for 40 years, lady. You know what I'm saying? So she got to me and she did my reading, and that was the first time that I came out, and I was like, yeah, this shit is real as hell.
Well,
I need to make an appointment to come back to see you in a month. You know what I mean? Like, and it's I'm just getting chills right now, even thinking about it. And it's crazy how that has stuck with me, you
mhm,
know, uh, all these years. Uh, the her and I meeting, her and I sitting down, we prayed together. Then she did my reading and stuff, and she was spot on with like she was definitely she there was stuff that Sean didn't know. You know what I mean? Because we sat in on each other's readings, you know what
mhm.
I'm saying? And there was stuff that he didn't know that nobody else knew. You know what I'm saying? Like I told him everything. Well, obviously not everything, but she pulled out some stuff that and it was real meaningful to me. It really kind of
Mhm.
like changed my direction, my course of direction at that time. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? And that change is kind of like manifested as I get older and older and older and stuff like that. Now, there is one thing that she said to me that I didn't understand back then, and I'm still waiting to understand it fully. But she said, "You're very wealthy." She goes, like, money is like the easiest thing in the world that comes to you. Like you worry about money a lot, right? But it comes to you so easily, and you're very like if you're not wealthy now, like you're gonna be extremely wealthy soon, you know and that was like 30 years ago, and I'm still not wealthy. So I'm trying to figure out what she meant by that. But you know what I mean? But here's the thing. I've always had a roof over my head, always had clothes, clean clothes, food in my fridge. I've never had really I get worried about money all the time, but it always comes when it's supposed to. And, so she was kind of spot on with that too, you know?
Yes. Well, being rich is okay. Well, first of all, any reading is always at this moment in time. This is what's happening. You have divine will. You have free will. You can change and shift in anything at any time. You can take the information shared with you and use it to find solutions, or you can get triggered by it, which also helps you. Or you can deny it and watch it could just come back, circle back over and over again. A good reader. Um, Also, a good reader will talk about not the mundane. So people always think, oh, if I'm gonna have a question for a psychic or something, it's always the top three: money, relationship, or what's my life's purpose. But being in a session with somebody and getting a reading with what we know now, it's going to help you develop your self-awareness and look for pattern recognition in your own life and complete cycles that no longer serve you. Like it's very in depth now with the right people.
Yeah. Because again, I was very skeptical, even when she was doing my reading, even though things were registering and making sense and firing off, with me, I didn't say anything to her. I didn't want to say anything to her because I didn't want to give her
Yeah.
lead-ins. I
Yeah.
was like, oh, no, he believes in you and it's, helped him in his life.
Yeah.
I don't really believe in you, even though you keep saying wild things that nobody else should know. You know what I mean? But it was all helpful. It was all, there wasn't anything in there as woe was me or anything like that. It was all and the money part was just a little itty bitty thing that she threw in at the end. There was a lot more stuff that was going on in my life at that time that she knew, she could feel from me, and she knew about and talked about, and offered up some really good solutions and stuff.
Nice.
So yeah, that
You want
was cool. I don't know what happened to her. I couldn't tell you what her name is. I went with Sean on that appointment and that appointment only, and then I think I had her information and stuff when we were supposed to go back, and then we just never did. But yeah.
Well, we have
And
quite a few available now, Tommy, if you're interested.
No, heck no. Voodoo stuff. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Shannon, do you want to share anything? Anything percolating?
Well, there is, but like if it's an off limit topic, feel free to.
Yeah.
Is your mom Is your mom still here?
No.
Okay.
No.
Was that a recent thing or like within the last 5 years?
No. She's been
Long time ago.
Yeah, 14 years. 14,
Who
15
is
years.
Do you have another woman, like an aunt you were close to?
No, I have another mother.
Okay.
That's crazy, Shannon. How do you know that kind of stuff?
I'm more of a medium kind of people.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you have this female energy around you. And this series that you're doing now, one of them says that you grew up listening to these women with her.
All right. Let me soak it in. Oh, I think I know who you're talking about, though. I went to therapy because of women in my life. I thought they were ruining my entire life. And it's crazy because it was only like a real small handful of women. And I realized that it had nothing to do with them. It just, past traumas and stuff like that. But one of those women, I think that's who you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah. She's been in my life she's not necessarily she's not necessarily a mother figure, but she's been in my life since I was like Kim, since high school,
Now, is she a big Whitney fan? Like specifically Whitney? You had mentioned Whitney as part of the female series, and I keep hearing Whitney Houston.
Nah, I don't know about that. Now, when you said that, you know what I thought about, though? Because you say it's a female, but my brother thought he was going to marry Whitney Houston. I think a lot of young boys did that back then, though.
Everybody.
Right. You know what I mean? No, I'd have to give it some thought. I'd have to think about it.
This is like, I keep hearing Whitney Houston. There's a woman. You actually have a lot of female energy around you.
I do. My best friend in the world, is a little Laotian girl that in Long Beach from Iowa. We travel everywhere. That's my best partner. My sister is my bestest best friend in the world. I have another mother who came along right before my mom passed, like 30, about 35 years ago. And they've literally adopted me into their family. Mom's Filipino, pops is from St. Louis. He's a black dude from St. Louis. And so I look like their children. So when they introduce us, this is our oldest son, Tommy. This is our daughter, Andrea. This is our youngest son, Louis. And I'm super close to them. That's my other family. And it's weird. It's kind of a different dynamic because I'm very close to them, but my siblings here in San Diego, you know, every so often, every couple of years or every few years, they might go by and say hi or something like that. But because I was the link to my siblings, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, I do. I have a lot of female energy around me, like a lot.
You do well in a room full of women.
I do. Cake is a great spot to think about when you talk about that. Like, and I trust them. I really listen. Like, I kind of, there's certain people and certain places that I go that I don't have to be anything else than just myself. You know, I can take it all off and just relax and be myself. Most of the time I go places and stuff like that, I'm really quiet. I'm very, very quiet, or I'm extremely loud. You know what I mean? Depending on the situation.
Movie theater?
No. Movie theaters, I'm really quiet and I can't stand people that talk. But movies are my hobby and my pastime. That's been my hobby. Movies and television have been my hobby and my pastime since I was a young kid.
Yeah.
You know, because I was a latchkey kid, you know, so you
Well, and we went to a performing arts school.
yeah, and I wanted to be rich and famous my whole life. That's
Yeah.
all I wanted to do was be a great, amazing actor. And I did entertainment for a while, but not so much anymore. But yeah, so I do have a lot of great women in my life. I have a couple of fellas that, you know, I'm close to, but not like the women in my life. But that also probably comes from I was raised by a single mother who did everything for us. And after she passed, you know, unfortunately, after someone passes like that, you realize how much you know, like not a day goes by I don't hear my mother's voice in my head, you know what I mean, telling me to do something or not do something, you know what I mean, or giving me good advice, you know. Like things will be on my mind and all of a sudden I can really hear my mom's voice giving me good advice. I don't know if that means I'm crazy, but it's been very good advice. You know what I mean? And no, because, you know, like in this environment, that conversation makes sense. But if I was with like my brother or his friends or whatever, and we were having this conversation, they'd be like, Tommy is insane, homie. You know, but I just
You're
know
safe
that.
here, Tommy.
Thank you. And no, but it you know, I know it's been good sound advice that I hear from my mom. You know what I mean? And because usually someone else gives me the same sound advice, or two or three people give me the same advice. Yeah. And then I'm like, okay, that checks. That makes sense because that's what kept coming to me. That's what I kept hearing in my head. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm going to do. It's been serving
does your sister hear your mom? Like, does your sister? Yeah.
Yeah. My sister's very sensitive about our mother.
Yeah.
She can just be having a regular day, and she's a doctor. She's a therapist. she could be having a regular day and then just call me bawling, just, for some reason, just overwhelmed with missing our mom, or needing mom's advice or something like that. And I think we all hear it in each other too, you know. There's 4 of us. So there's 3 boys and my sister's the youngest. I'm the middle child. So and being an artist, my family already thinks I'm a weirdo, so it's fine.
But you're
my
a good
sister,
artist,
yeah.
though.
Huh?
You're a good artist, though, Tommy. There's a
Yeah.
difference between somebody following their creative authenticity, which is always great, but not being good at it. You're actually really good at it.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, it took me like 50 years, 40 years to figure it out. You know what I mean? Like that. My mom had always told me, speaking of my mother, from a young age, that this is what I needed to do. Just art. Just do art. You have this amazing talent that not everybody has. You need to use it. And I was like, listen, lady, I'm going to be rich and famous. And then we moved from Minnesota to San Diego, and we got into School of Creative and Performing Arts, right? And I thought, see, God knows what he's doing. He moved us to California, where Hollywood is, and I'm in a performing arts school where I can continue to act. I'm going to be rich and famous. And didn't really work out like that. I got a little rich. I got a little famous, San Diego famous, but not from acting, from radio. And then, but when I became like 10 years ago, I was watching this muralist off of my balcony. He was doing a wall underneath my balcony. And I went down there and I started talking to him, and I watched him over, a 2-week period, like just working on this mural. And shortly thereafter, craziest thing. I still to this day have no idea who did it, but someone brought and put outside of my front door a bunch of canvases. And they were like old IKEA canvases. Some of the wood had been water damaged, so it was, warped, but they were canvas. So I brought them in the house, and I was like, you know what? I should just paint over this. What do I want to paint? And then but at the time, streaming for art was brand new. And I said, I'm going to try streaming it, and I'm going to do what they tell you to paint what you know. And I started painting, and that was it. That was the beginning of the last 10 years of my life. And if I gave you a tour of my loft, there's hundreds and hundreds of portraits and paintings in here that I've been able to finish in the last 10 years, and now I sell art, and I go to shows, and I travel, and it's like really awesome. But I don't know who brought me canvas. I don't think any of my neighbors knew that I was an artist, because that's not what I was doing when I moved in. So, and then I know it wasn't the muralist that did it, because we talked about it. He thought that was awesome, that somebody would do that, but it wasn't him.
It was Jesus.
Probably. He came to OB and brought me some old raggedy canvases from IKEA. Because that's how he rolls.
Wouldn't be wasteful. I think that's what.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Now,
But
your
yeah,
mom was creative in her own way.
Yeah, my mom was,
and that's where you got that spark from.
She didn't, my mom was a social worker, but we have a lot of her art. She did a lot of like charcoals, and she did like real art stuff, like charcoals and like charcoal art. And my sister has a few of her paintings up at her house. I have a collection of her paintings here and stuff. I don't ever remember seeing my mom do art. But when she passed, we found all of her art, and I was like, wow, this is crazy, But she was my biggest encourager. I did my first drawing when I was like around 6, and it's this painting that is in a lot of Black households. And it's a profile of a little boy with a teardrop, right? It's just like part of his face, right? And I drew it. I remember I was underneath the coffee table and I drew it. And my mom was in the kitchen with her girlfriends, drinking coffee, having cigarettes, and or having coffee and smoking cigarettes, I guess would be correct. And I went and showed her, and she just gushed over it. She showed her girlfriends; they gushed over it. She just was like, and she said later on, she knew then that I had a special talent because 6-year-olds weren't supposed to be able to draw that well. You know what I mean? And but my whole life, like I said, from when I was younger, she just always encouraged me to do art. So it's cool. You knew. That's crazy. Not crazy at all, Shannon.
No. Not super crazy, but you definitely she's your creative spark. Like she definitely gave that to you.
Yeah.
Now, is there something weird about the way she cooked? I know that sounds really strange.
My mom, I don't know what her. She wasn't Catholic, but there's another religion that cooks fish on Fridays. And I grew up in a non-season home. You know what I mean? Like I grew up with non-season food.
Tommy's mom was white, is what he's trying to tell us.
Well, I didn't want to just say that. I figured everybody would figure it out.
So I'll tell you, because I didn't want to be politically incorrect and say it.
Right.
She said Tommy didn't get any soul food growing up, and that's a thing.
Yeah. It was.
That's what she said, but I didn't want to say that because I was like, I don't know if I can say that. But
yeah, and it's literally one of my favorite types of food. And no, my mom was Norwegian and Irish, and we got fish every Friday. I can't stand fish. I don't eat anything in the water. We had like
Hamburger Helper.
Yes, pork chops and cabbage, and just Irish food. A lot of Irish food, a lot of Norwegian food. And I know we didn't get no soul food. And my friends used to tease me about it all the time. I couldn't wait to go to their house. Couldn't wait. Like my mom didn't fry chicken. My mom baked chicken because it was more healthy for you.
Yeah.
But fried
you also
chicken,
didn't get macaroni and cheese.
No.
You wanted it and you asked for it.
Yeah, I mean
in the store out of the box.
Yeah. We didn't. No. My mom was a single mom. That stuff was like extra, not like when like us raising our kids. My kids loved mac and cheese. You know what I mean? Annie's mac and cheese, the best. It's organic. It's the bomb. But yeah, when I was a kid, we didn't get that kind of good stuff, and we didn't eat out often, and it was a very special treat for us to go. The young people in the stream probably don't understand this, but to go to McDonald's as a kid was a special treat.
And there's only one. There's only one within like a 10-mile radius. First of all,
yeah. And they had birthday parties there too. I always wanted to have my birthday party at McDonald's because I would go to like my friends' birthday parties at McDonald's, and my mom would be like, "No, we're just gonna make a cake here at the house.
Yeah,
you can have all your friends come here."
You got a tour. I remember it was such a big deal
to go to McDonald's.
Well, and for a party, and then they would take you into the kitchen to the shake machine, and everybody got a little tiny shake. And I remember it was like, yeah. But it back then, back then it like yes, it was still fast food, but the quality and it was so different. Like the preservatives and everything. Like toxic is toxic, but food, even in fast food places when we were younger, was not what it is today.
It was different. We were never allowed to go out and eat, like, because I grew up in Appalachia. 1, we were poor as shit, but 2, my grandfather was always like, we are not eating at this place. Like we would go sometimes and get like a bucket of chicken from somewhere, but we didn't eat there because he's like, the drinks is where they get you. That was his thing. He's like, we're not paying for these drinks. The drinks is where they get you. We'll just get this chicken and take it home.
That's really funny. I remember my grandfather always got coffee no matter what time of day or if it was hot out. And I asked once, like, how come you always pick coffee? And my grandmother turned to me and she's like, it's because he's cheap. It's the cheapest thing to buy when we're out. It's because he's cheap. So funny. But yeah, dude, they survived wars, okay?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's not cheap. Coffee is probably the most expensive thing on the menu.
Yeah, right?
Remember when the McNuggets weren't part human? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't eat at McDonald's if you paid me. You
Yeah,
know,
I know what you're talking about.
now that I know
I
better.
know the rumors.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So folks, we're gonna continue chatting over here. I have a question for Amber, but does anyone have any questions that they would like intuitively answered? Please put them in the chat. You
I
know,
have
you
a
guys
question.
know the rest. Yes.
I have a question for
Yes,
a real
Tommy.
one. A real one. I just want to see if you guys pick up on this, and I want to say something because I know you're picking up on this. I'm planning on doing something, but I'm really on the fence about it. And it's big. It's not a little thing. I didn't know if you guys are picking up on that. If you feel, if you have anything for me, let me know.
Does it have anything to do with driving?
No.
Okay.
Oh, well, I did just get a new car. Like,
oh, I was going to ask
2
you.
days ago.
You did?
Yeah.
That's the first thing I was going to say is, are you going to get a new car? But then I was like, well, he would have told me that, and so I just saw driving. Oh, it's
I
weird.
completely, because I don't leave my house.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's been, and then I got it 2 days before we left for the DR.
Okay.
And then it was parked over at my sister's. And then I drove it home and then I parked it. Like, I don't really go anywhere, but it was like a friend of mine who I work with, he sold it to me for like $800.
Oh, nice.
It's a nice car. It's like a little Mitsubishi Lancer. To get me from A to B and stuff like that. Ladies, I didn't have a car. Well, I had a car, and then I haven't had a car for about 6 months. And we live downtown, and I Uber. So it was like, he just said, "What do you mean you don't have a car?" And I was like,
I
don't drive
pay
a lot.
$230 a month to park my car. Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
need a car when you're downtown. We're right on the trolley line too.
Right.
Okay. Well,
but I couldn't pass that up. But that's not what I was talking. That's not what I was considering. And really, I would tell you guys.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
You're going to be with somebody else, and it's going to be like a live with a whole big bunch of people in the room.
Huh?
Are you thinking about doing something like in a big room, like a huge group of people?
Yes. Okay. I might not be able to come on this show ever again because Shannon is really like, listen, there's been 6 or 7 times that everything in my body is tingling.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Since I've been on here. It's crazy, yo.
And you'd be doing it with somebody else, like somebody that you're close
I would
to,
tell you
that if you said we would know who they were.
No.
Okay.
Well, I mean, people close to me are going to be involved, but what it is I can't even talk about it. I can't say anything because it's really new. But
we're programmed
to pick up some.
No, we're programmed to believe that you can't talk about stuff.
Good.
But that's fear. So you're afraid that if you talk about it, you can mess it up. Now, I'm not saying that other people need things to be private. Like, that's different, okay? But the fear of saying too much or ruining it for yourself, like putting it out there, and then just know that in this now moment, this is a possibility for you. You can absolutely manifest it and bringing attention to it, even if you're not going to say it, what it actually is, bringing attention to it is not going to stop that. Just putting that out there.
No, I get what you're saying. I think
It
maybe
may
off.
fan it a little bit, even.
Well, I was gonna say maybe off stream. I'll tell you guys. I just don't want to do it publicly on stream. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But
It's Tommy talk instead of TED talk.
right, right. That's a good idea. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, Shannon's creating an event space, so maybe you could be the first speaker.
Nice. Yeah, I'll come down. I'll talk about like, I don't know. I know for me, when Kim asked me to do this, like I was like, oh yeah, I'm down for it. You know what I mean? I'm not that, let me say this, because it's been on my mind since we started. Not on my mind, maybe in my heart, but I come from a very religious background. And like my siblings won't understand that well, here's the thing. My siblings would understand that I'm on this show, but they would never be on this show. You know what I mean? They don't believe in any of this. They think it's all hoodoo, or whatever. And I'm not that person. You know what I mean? I'm very open to.
Yeah, or open-minded. Yeah.
Yeah, because, and Kim and I talked about this earlier, I feel like such a strong connection, and I don't know why, and I've always felt like this, to Egypt, and especially like ancient Egypt.
Mhm.
When
You know a
things
lot
on
about
this
it,
planet
too.
were being created, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like for the first time.
No, you know a lot about it too.
Yeah.
But
Now I've studied it, and I'm studying. I'm teaching myself Arabic, Egyptian Arabic. So yeah.
Wow. Well, okay, so that's actually the topic that I was going to bring up, but I've just allowed this to flow. And Amber, I do have something to ask you before we go to this. But if anyone who's watching right now, is there someone that existed long ago or does exist now that you feel an incredible connection to? And like with Tommy, his would be an actual like culture and civilization, ancient Egypt. And I believe that most of us have that as well. But do you have anyone that you heard about, like I'm going to say it from a first person just to make it easier to explain. I've always had this massive connection to Amelia Earhart, like like from the first time I heard her story. And anytime she comes up, like I was just listening to a podcast and they were talking about her life, and I am so interested and so connected, and there's there's no reason other than the fact that I just have this almost like a magnet attraction to her life. No one told me about her when I was little. I didn't learn about her in school, nothing. But I don't know. Anyway, if you do, share it in the chat, please. And I don't know. I was curious about what everybody else is going to say. And then Amber, so you shared that really fun picture, but powerful picture with Santa Claus in it about the volcano. Is it still erupting right now?
No, so the day before Christmas Eve, it started. That was the 1 year anniversary of it continuously, pretty much every 2 weeks going off.
Wow.
So
Wow.
for on the anniversary, the year anniversary, that was the picture of the 1 year anniversary. So.
And then they put Santa and the reindeer coasting through. Really
yeah, but that was a real picture of the eruption. So pretty cool.
So
like
cool.
It was like one of them was 1,400 feet high and the other one was 1,200 feet high. Wow. Next to each other,
crazy.
like double.
Does that add anything to the air quality around you? Like, does that put minerals in? Like, do you actually, like, when after it goes off, are there times when you open your door and you can see like filament or anything?
Because we live on Maui, it's on the Big Island is where that's going off,
Okay.
which is probably about 80 miles from where,
Okay.
from where we are. But that being said, it still does travel over here.
Yeah.
And it depends on the trade winds and everything.
That's so
And
cool.
then over on the Big Island, of course, they have a lot more, gases, and they have Pele's hair that they have to worry about, and all kinds of other things.
Wow.
So my friend Maka, she lives over there, and she has lived there pretty much her whole life and has lung issues from it. It's so there's that too that people don't really think about, but it really is a factor, and it can be a thing, yeah, to
So
be concerned about.
ChatGPT and I are like this,
Me
and and well, this is about volcanoes. I discovered, I've already been communicating with ChatGPT about quite a few different things, and then I was like, wait a minute. I have someone who will talk to me about ancient civilizations and all these rabbit holes and all this other stuff. What I do have people in my life that'll talk about it, but not at 9 o'clock at night when I'm pondering something, and so we have moved into a very cool, like, new chapter of ChatGPT. So I was watching this documentary about Darren Kuyu, Turkey, which is if they discovered 18 stories worth of a how would you say? Okay, so we're assuming 12,000 years ago with the Younger Dryas cataclysm, meteors hitting the ground, that a lot of people, civilization had to go underground in order to survive. So in this part of Turkey, they have discovered housing, rooms dug that reach down 18 stories, basically, of like what we would call stories here. And it would house, this one in particular would house like 20,000 people. And then they discovered a tunnel that stretches 5 miles long to the next one that would house like 10,000 people. And they now speculate that there are like 200 of these locations underneath Turkey. So my first question was, why don't we talk about that? How is this not recorded somewhere? Like we have records of so much information. How aren't people still talking about that? Well, there was if anyone's interested, go down that rabbit hole, okay? But then my next question, or then I was thinking about it. I was like, if was any of this from lava flow tunnels? Because Turkey has some volcanoes. And it said, that's a really good question. There is some belief that possibly some of the lava tubes started this idea, but then you can tell that they were literally just carved out. So because it's lava, it's a softer stone, which is easier to carve into. And so it made it easier to make these rooms. It's phenomenal. If everybody watching or in the chat doesn't know what I'm talking about, go look up Darren Kuyu, Turkey. But because then I said, I wonder if people, like, the health conditions were better because they were in rooms of lava rock that are just so rich and full of nutrients and minerals, and and then it said it agreed with me. But so you saying that people are suffering from health conditions being near a volcano, that it's such an interesting contrast, because what it leaves on the earth is so incredibly good for us, but when it pops off in the air, that actually can cause.
Well, it's at a different state of matter,
Yeah.
right? So,
Huh.
And two,
Yeah.
your lungs don't really clear stuff the same way. Like if
Yeah.
you take it in through your skin or
Yeah.
digestive system too. But it's wild to think that, you're just living there and you get this sort of activity, and it would have to be, do they have like a lot of ash, like And my only and it's not my experience. I was in the mountains, but I had an uncle that lived in Washington State in the 80s, like the early 80s, when there
Mount
was like
St. Helens.
Mount St. Helens erupted, and he sent me like a bottle that you get from the pharmacy, like you would get pills in. He sent me like volcanic ash and like the newspaper when I was
Wow.
little, because I thought it was
Very
so
cool.
interesting, and he shared some of that.
That's cool.
And
Yeah.
they were
cool.
like sweeping their cars off, and I mean, it was like it had very heavy ash there.
Yeah, certain times when the volcano goes off in certain areas, depending on the wind, right, and all the elements, yeah, that can definitely happen. And then like Pele's hair also, and that's really dangerous. It's like kind of like glass shards, and you
Yeah.
don't want to inhale that
Dang.
into your lungs. Yeah, so
Yeah.
you got to be really careful. So
Yeah.
she can be a little violent, you know,
Yes.
in her creation.
I need to excuse myself for like 30 seconds. So
I'll take over. It's no problem, Kim. I got this.
You got it, Tommy. Let's go.
okay.
I'm
So
just
Tommy,
kidding.
Tommy, ask the girls a question, or Shannon, just keep reading, Tommy.
No,
No, I'll be back.
He's had enough of me. He's
But
like,
then,
no, not at all. Go ahead, Kim.
no, but then I want to ask you: do you have anyone that you have from historically? I think makes more sense.
Yeah.
That you've just have this major connection to, and I will be right back.
Right on. Yeah, I've been to Hawaii at least a dozen times. Usually, only Oahu. My mom wanted to retire in Maui, and one of her best girlfriends moved to Maui when we moved to California, and but yeah, I've seen pictures of not Maui. She moved to. You're on Maui, right?
Yeah.
What's the small island?
So there's Molokai. Is that the one you're thinking of?
Yeah, Molokai. Not Molokai. That's the smallest one, right?
So you have Kauai.
Kauai. That's
Yeah.
what I'm talking about.
That's us.
Yeah. So they moved to Kauai, and my mom's friend, she was very much, because my mom's friends are, that era of the 60s and 70s and stuff like that. So as young adults, and so when her girlfriend moved to Hawaii, my mom would go and visit her often, and you could just tell by all the pictures she moved out of Minnesota and became like the biggest, awesomest hippie in the world, like, and she so yeah, I have a very great connection with Hawaii. I love Hawaii, man. I met my doppelganger when I was there last time, and
yeah, you fit right in over here too.
yeah. Oh yeah, when I get there, I get Kama'aina rates. Oh,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure. Yeah. You local boy? Yeah. Yes, I am.
That's funny.
My Jeep rental when I did go to Maui once. I went to Maui, and we went the southern route of Maui down by where the church is on the peninsula.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm talking about? And back then the road didn't go all the way through.
Yeah, you're talking about the road to Hana.
Yeah, the road to Hana. Yeah. And we had a Jeep, so we just kept going, and I found this beautiful. If I ever got married for love, I would want to get married there. This amazing, beautiful little itty bitty church on this little itty bitty peninsula that's off of the main road. It had a graveyard that was like super old, like 1800, 1700, something like that. It was crazy. And it was very windy down there. And it wasn't the Hawaii you think of, sunshine and people. It was like barren, and it was very, very cool. Very cool place. Very cool place.
Yeah, Maui's a really special place. There's like 7 different climates here, so it's pretty cool. You get jungle, desert, all the different.
How awesome is that? How awesome!
Climate's pretty awesome. Yeah, super grateful.
Yeah, I thought about retiring in Puerto Rico. I've really started leaning towards Hawaii because you guys don't have hurricanes, so
I mean, we technically have hurricanes, but luckily, they usually
yeah, not like the Caribbean though, right?
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, there hasn't been anything like that. Yeah, you're right. It's not like that. Not like over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Kim, go ahead. I'm sorry, I was just filling time.
Yeah. Oh no, thank you, thank you. So Shannon or Amber, do you have a very strong connection to any famous figure in history, or like from your childhood?
What do you think, Shannon? The only thing that I can come up with is Mother Gaia.
You were born a hippie. That's so cute. Well, no, I mean, if that was your first,
That's
when
a
you
good
first heard,
one.
yeah,
It's like I just am so connected to Mother Gaia. It's humans. I never really had a lot of like strong connection with humans, except you guys.
you found your
So
tribe.
cool.
Mine's Joan of Arc. Like,
Hmm.
I grew up in the Appalachian Mountains in a non-Catholic household. Like, we didn't talk about saints. I grew up Baptist. There's no saints in the everybody who's saved is a saint in the Baptist faith. So I grew up like that, but I always had this really strong connection to Joan of Arc. And my grandma bought me an Irish Barbie doll. And she had her like little green hat on and this like green dress. And I was also a tomboy. But she bought me this Irish Barbie doll and I set her on fire. I tied her to a candle and set her on fire because I was recreating burning Joan of Arc at the stake. My grandma kept my charred Barbie my whole life. This charred Barbie. She never bought me another nice doll like that ever again. And I don't blame her. And then years later, I met this lady, Kimberly, I'd mentioned her to you, Ellen Malloy. She's also a very gifted psychic, heck of a human. And the first time I met her, she's like, your spiritual support team, you have Joan of Arc. And I was like, that is hilarious because I've had this.
Yeah.
I don't know why, don't know where it came from, but like I played Joan of Arc as a kid and I don't know what that's about.
That's so cool.
Well,
cool.
yeah. So I would say that we are responding to soul recognition and signatures and like matching energy, right? So if Joan of Arc, like the first time you found out about her and you got this like recognition, like you remembered something, but you were too young or you weren't awake yet or whatever, so it just became this like fascination. But I think that's us recognizing either you were there or you are part of the group, the energetic soul group that she is also a part of. I think that's cool.
Yeah, and she's one of my absolute favorite saints because oddly enough, I grew up and evolved into like big parts of Catholicism. So,
Well, and here you were symbolically recreating this incredible story that you could feel in your soul. And then your grandmother is like, are we raising a pyromaniac who, just destroyed a Barbie doll? And
melted
Yeah.
Barbie's hair on her red shag carpet.
Oh no.
Aw.
Oh no.
Yeah, no more Barbies and no nail polish. Also got the shag carpet.
Oh
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, shag was no joke. We all
It's
had
true.
that. I
So
will
tell
share.
me on Egypt, like, is there a
Yeah.
particular, do you see a particular person or is it just the time period?
Well, for me, it's a time period. There's a couple things that I feel really connected to often. Ancient Egypt and for some reason, Cuba, and and I joke about it a lot, but like Cuba and voodoo, like there's or maybe not voodoo, maybe a some kind of like a Santeria or something like that. I'm not even Latin, you know what I mean? But there's something that draws me to that. There's something that ancient Egypt wasn't just a passion, it's always been a constant in my life, it's just not until I got older that I wanted to know more and research more and do more and research, like real, like, do you know how I know how the pyramids were built? Can I tell you guys? It's not secret. It's not something world out of this world. They made molds. Okay, they made molds for the bricks. They had a system on how to melt the granite and melt the stone, and then they poured it into the molds and they built from the bottom up. And that's why all the tunnels and everything is straight and perfect and so aligned and everything. And you can't put a piece of paper between them because they just kept on using the same molds. That's how they built them. But that's just like out of all my research in the world, like that's the one that, like, and here's the thing. They talk about ancient Egypt, like it wasn't slavery like we knew slavery.
No.
It was completely different. And
there were medical records and they were paid. Yeah, no, it was.
Yeah, and they wanted to build these incredible structures to show the world how knowledgeable they were. And then they took that knowledge and they circumvented the earth multiple times before Europeans even knew how to make boats. There's proof in Hawaii. There's proof in Hawaii of Egyptians being there. There's proof in Australia that Egyptians were there. There's proof in the Grand Canyon. Yeah, that the Egyptians were here. And then you see it in you can see where they spread their knowledge with South America and different places. Even in Europe, they are finding more and more Egyptian artifacts that date way beyond their even thinking of Egyptians being.
If we could just see under the Vatican, it would be a lot easier.
They have all of it. It's the Vatican, and for America, it's the
Smithsonian.
Yes.
Yeah, Smithsonian.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with the heating up rocks. The biggest missing piece that we don't have is how they were able to move a megalithic structure or rock that we couldn't move it today.
They did it. They just broke up the rock, and they I mean, this is just my research. They grind the rock because one of the things a lot of people don't understand about Egypt is that in that Nile River Valley, it would flood, right? And so it would flood, and it would flood all their fields, flood everything for months at a time, right? I forgot what the period of time was, maybe about 3 months, 4 months at a time. So Egyptians didn't have anything that they could do because everything is flooded out. So that's where a lot of the thinking and the processes and the math came out about. They wanted to know, how can they spread what they know mathematically to anyone in the world? And they tried fruit, they tried seeds, they tried leaves, they tried the foot of the pharaoh, they tried, hand, but everything is just, my hand is different than your hand, so those wouldn't be good measurements. So all of a sudden, somebody came up with the process of a drop of water, and still to this day, a drop of water is a centimeter. And every drop of water, no matter if it comes from the Nile or if it comes from Lake Michigan, is a centimeter. And from that was the basis of coming up with mathematical equations so that they could spread and they could give everybody the same not power, but the same knowledge that they had.
Mhm.
And so that's what they did, is that's when they circumvented the earth, they kept on just spreading their knowledge to small groups of people in these areas. It was kind of secretive, but yeah, so that's my understanding, is that they didn't move rocks. They had big
Molds.
uh
And what did
they
they
had
make the molds out of?
wood, just wood.
Okay. That's cool.
That's why if you go, like, you know, the environment back then wasn't as desert as it is now. It
Mhm.
was more tropical, especially with the Nile River flooding the valley all the time. So Egyptians would literally, for generations, they would have these periods of time where they couldn't farm, they couldn't, you know, really move around because everything was flooded. So they came up with science and math all the time. That's, you know, reading stars.
Mhm.
A lot of what we have in our lives now come from Egypt. The Fibonacci's equation is not Fibonacci's. It was the Egyptians.
Mhm.
Egyptians came up with the Fibonacci. Fibonacci just stole it from Egypt,
Did you
and now we know it as his equation, you know?
if you measure from the top of the Great Pyramid to the real bottom of the Great Pyramid, it is exactly the measurement of the Earth. And in there's another, I can't remember right now. The circumference of the real true base of the pyramid
Mhm.
is the other. It's like one's the circumference and one is the height of the Earth, to within 50 meters.
Now, that I think they had help with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no real explanation for them to know that kind of math.
Yeah.
You would have to have been outside of the earth to know those kind of figures.
Yes. Yes.
Not
Well,
to
and
say
then
it's strange,
Tesla
but
tapped into that
yeah,
with the 963. I'm a huge I have another very strong connection to Tesla from the fact that he was in love with a pigeon to my phone number is all Tesla numbers too. It's pretty cool. Very cool, Tommy. Thank you. Thank you.
sorry. You know, Kim, you know me well. You got to just cut me off sometimes, okay?
No, that's what this is for. That's
Yeah,
why we're all on here. Um, I'm going to so Corey said he's always been connected to Houdini. All right, hold on. There's more to this. And I somehow always free myself from weird experiences. It's become annoying at this point. And then he also went on to say there's a lot of practicing hoodoo, voodoo, Santeria through is that how you say? Yeah, Santeria through San Diego, including through the Filipinos, Tongans, and Laotians as well. I ran into a similar thread growing up in northern San Diego.
Right on.
Yeah, we do. Well, we have a really strong Islander presence here. I'm
Yeah.
not sure why, but we do. Um, huh. That's cool. So yours is so Corey, is your connection specifically to Houdini? Like when you first learned about Houdini, did something change in your body? Or is it like magicians or like actually being able to escape out of something? That's cool.
Oh no, I think he was saying hoodoo. Hoodoo, voodoo, and Santeria.
Yeah, but I swear he said no, he
Oh,
said
something
yeah.
about Houdini. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So he's always been
I
connected to
can't scroll
Houdini.
that. Right on.
Yes. There's a lot of it's so interesting to me that religions like Catholicism with all the saints and burning candles and incense and everything else, it's totally accepted. But the moment a pagan or a witch or somebody does it outside of organized religion, then it's looked down upon by through fear.
Yeah.
But we're all doing the same thing. Like we're all tapping in the same way. Like every religion is beautiful at its core. It's just what humans do with it that screw it up.
In Appalachia, we kind of mix the two. Like if you ever look it up, they have what are called granny witches. And so granny witches were typically Christian women who believed in all the parts. And so that's what I kind of grew up with, a little bit of everything. Snake handlers, Baptist, straight up pagan stuff. And I mean, there's universal truth in all of it.
Yeah, I grew up a Baptist, and if you had to ask me what my religion was and I had to pick one, I'd say Baptist, but in the same kind of Baptist you're talking about, like
Yeah.
with hymns and, like not, and it's honestly, it's called, right? It's Southern Baptist, right? You're a Southern Baptist? Yeah. And the other Baptists with all the gospel and the everybody, that Baptist, I didn't grow up with that. I grew up with really quiet hymns, in and out of church in an hour. Like, yeah. But
we're all seeking the same thing. It's just that if you have to allow yourself to not live through fear, and then you can recognize that everyone is all finding that proof of existence and remembrance and beyond, just the simplicity of being here.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
yeah,
And
you got to be open.
Yep. You have to be open. I mean, that's it exactly. And if you enjoy going somewhere with a group of people and worshiping in whichever way you want to do it,
Yeah.
enjoy it. And, like now, whenever I go, John and I will go to an Episcopalian church. There, he was raised Roman Catholic, and the Episcopalian church is sort of like, I have a girlfriend who calls it the mildest form of organized religion, and it's a much more open, not quite Unitarian Universalist level open, but we go to a place here that's very friendly, and I think it's one of those things. And like the hellfire damnation, yeah, like no hellfire and damnation. Like that's the part that I do not want, like, ever again. We had this one guy when I was little, and we were just done. My grandmother stood up, literally gave a speech in the Baptist church about the right of women to have safe legal abortions. And I mean, this was like back in the 80s. And she packed up her purse and we left. And when she was a little old lady in her 90s, she said, "Don't you ever have me at that church." And we did not. We had a party at a school. But, like, there's religion and there's religion and then there's religion. So take what sings to your soul and connects you with God.
Yes.
And it doesn't have to be in a church or a building or anything like that.
Well, Jesus said God is within you. So this is the most powerful temple, is yourself. Sorry, Tommy, what were you going to say?
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, and if you really just look at the history of Christianity, it's been kind of like taking all that's like the Bible that we read now. The King James version of the Bible is literally King James
political
version of the Bible, right? And if you look at the original Bible, the Ethiopian Bible, there were so many books that were taken out that have so many things in it that really would explain a lot. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
right. Enoch, a lot of people talk about Enoch, but there's other ones, and it just would really explain a whole lot. Like
if the Anunnaki would just come down
right
at like 8 p.m. on a Friday and broadcast and just set it straight.
Listen.
Yeah. Thank you for mentioning that the original Bible is from Ethiopia. I don't think a lot of people know that.
Yeah. So it's just my like I said, my brother's a pastor and has been one since he was 22 years old, and so for 35 years. And so I, like I said, we grew up in we went to church every Sunday. Even if my mom didn't go, she got us dressed and got us to church, made sure, because our church literally was on the corner. So we
And
would
she
just
needed
walk down to church. Yeah.
and she just needed an hour to herself. I mean, that was
Yeah,
great.
she needed to go back to sleep because she was working like 3 jobs and
Yeah.
probably got off at like 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
But
How much trouble can they really get into at church?
at church,
Yeah.
yeah. And we got in a lot of trouble at church.
Yeah,
A lot. With my mom being there. There was,
yeah.
But yeah, so I just think you have to be open to things in life. And I mean, you can live your life however you want. You can live it all closed off and with the things, the things on your eyes and everything, and just, but we only get one trip around on this planet that I know of so far. You know what I'm saying?
In this
So
avatar. Yeah.
yeah, so might as well be open to everything and really enjoy this life,
Hmm.
Why be so
Well,
closed off?
just don't judge everybody around. Yeah, but eyes on your own
Yeah.
paper. Best
Yeah,
advice.
there you go. That's a good one. That's a good one. Eyes on your own paper.
Amber, do you have anything you want to contribute to this conversation?
I'm just over here being the observer, agreeing with y'all.
I was like, Amber is soaking all of this up. We're gonna get phone calls. I'm gonna get a phone call after this.
It'll be
Hi,
life
Tommy.
changing.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Yes. Well, it just wherever anybody is at, in order to have a conversation with them, you have to meet them where they're at. And so it's great. It's so important to stay open-minded, and it's so important to understand why someone might still be under the cover or in the box of certain beliefs. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, we all have at different times, and then I created this show so everybody has a safe place to come and talk about these things openly and like do some self awareness, which leads to evolving, which, I don't know. I use the Bible as a history book and a gender learning about the genders throughout history, things like that. Like that, there's the good and bad and everything.
Yeah.
But there's no way that our Bible is the only sacred text.
Oh no. I mean, look at all of the Tibetan texts, the Book of the Dead there. We think of the Egyptian Book of the Dead.
Yeah.
The Tibetan version is very similar. Like, that's my jam, is comparative religion. When you look at all of these different religions, there are so many things that are woven throughout all of them, throughout mythology. It's really amazing.
So it is interesting when people are hardcore only going to follow like the St. James Bible. What do you think all that other stuff's about then? Like, it doesn't pertain to you because you live in a small town in the Midwest, or like it. I mean, really, right?
Right?
Yeah, it's a interesting. It's so fascinating when you start learning about other cultures and religions and how things were passed down. Like, there's like one of my favorite rabbit holes is the Dogon tribe in Africa. And I won't get into all of it right now, but if y'all are like this type of thought and learning about other cultures and learning about these people removed themselves and to an isolated part of Africa up in the cliffs because they were being taken advantage of by other tribes and all this other stuff, but they have kept information that doesn't make any sense that they have it. Like, they have records. Some of it's oral, some of it's been passed down orally, and some of it is carved in stone, where they know all the planets. Like, we just got binoculars. We just got telescopes a few years ago. Okay. So they know about not only the planets, but they know what color they are, and they're right. And this is hundreds of years old information. They knew about how babies are made, like physically, anatomy that you can't see with the naked eye. They have records on that. They know about the 26,000 year revolution of certain planets. They celebrate a lot of stuff uh, about those. I'm not going to say it right, but they celebrate um, planetary movement that you can't see with the naked eye, and they don't have any telescopes out there. And then what are some of the and then they talk about the fish people that landed in some type of ship in their waters and then walked out of the water and taught them animal husbandry, um, how to grow crops, and quite a few other things. And this is an oral tradition that's been passed down, and it is, and they can, they have really they're super colorful in the way that they dress, and a lot of their they do a lot of really fast dancing that like defies what humans are capable of physically. It's such a fascinating tribe to learn about. But then it has the same shared stories that ancient texts have all over the world too. And these people were purposely had removed themselves from um, settlements just because they were too small of a tribe, and so they were constantly taken advantage of or captured or whatever. And so for safety, they moved themselves away. Yet they were
Okay.
able to maintain all of this really cool information. So they're doing all this stuff they were doing in the past and doing all this stuff currently without the internet, without talking to anybody else, and it's all very aligned with what somebody digs up in Tibet or in Peru or Islam. It's really cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Are you talking about the tribe that does the dance with their
Mm.
feet?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. They're
Mhm.
incredible. Don't they also have a couple of spirit animals or something that, like,
It
is it the doggone tribe that, like, all of us, so this big huge thing like a bush almost comes out and it does little dances and stuff and moves around towards people and everything in their these ceremonies that they have, but there's nobody inside of it. Is that the same tribe?
probably probably maybe, yeah. That one
Yeah.
I don't remember, but yeah,
I'll, you know what, I'll find the video and I'll send it to you
yeah,
because I was like, what?
yeah.
That thing was moving like there was a human inside of it,
Oh,
and then there's nothing or
it's
nobody
so
inside of
cool.
it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've seen the dancing that they used to make memes out of their dancing and stuff
Hmm.
like that. Yeah.
And the fish people, there's a word, and it's just right out of my reach right now, that landed thousands of years ago and walked out of the water and taught them, are the same. I almost had it. Are the same people that in Japan they made all of these little tiny sculptures of, and with the same creation story in Japan. And then in Mexico there are little figurines made out of clay, and they're all the same thing, but
Oh.
yet thousands of miles apart. And when we think about, well, that we were seafaring people and we could have gotten around and trade and all that, but most of that was happening. Actually, I just found this out, and it helped make some sense out of things, because I asked ChatGPT, why are there 200 underground civilizations in Turkey? That was actually my first question. Are there other places around the world that have these underground massive builds? And it said, most of it is in Turkey, but then it was naming some other places, most of what I'd heard of, but like hadn't really like connected. And then I said, well, why Turkey? And they said, well, back then that was like the hub. So when people were traveling, they were all crisscrossing, I guess, Turkey. And so
Mhm.
that just was the hub of where most people would have been. And so at any point in time, it would be New York City, where people were all meeting, and that's why but these weren't built overnight, and so they had knowledge that something was coming. You don't build an underground encampment for 20,000 people unless you know you're going to need it, you know. And it's so incredible. They built it over water, knowing that there was a body of water deep down, like 20 stories down. They have all of these tunnels for air. They had animals down there. They had schools, they had churches, like everything was under there. And it looks like, when you look at it from sketches that are made to show you what you would see if you could look through the ground, it looks, like an ant farm. It's fascinating.
Wow.
But yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, humans we're amazing, man. I just think over time people have forgotten how amazing we are.
So
You know?
I was like, how did a farmer in the 1960s break through a wall in the basement and discover a room, and that's how they discovered Darren Kuyu? How did we? Okay, 20,000 people live down there, and I don't even think it was that long ago that a lot of cultures have actually been using these places to get away from attacks from armies and things, right? Like, there are places that were used like 300 years ago. So it said it's a culture of, like, people like to remember celebrations. They want to remember when things went well and things were right. They don't want to remember having to go and hide under the earth with 20,000 other people in order to survive. So to me, that shows tenacity. That shows overcoming. Like, I would never forget that. But the culture has buried that information because it was such a intense time and scary time, and they don't want to remember it. It was very interesting. I don't know.
Well, I think too, the powers that be, and don't, consider me a super conspiracy person, but I am. Um, I really am. But I don't believe that they're all conspiracies. I think that there's been a lot hidden from us. I think that over time, with greed, with greed of money and power, I think a lot of things that was more common knowledge has fallen to the wayside. Because if you think about it, we're only two generations removed from not really like, most of us couldn't tell you what our great grandmother and grandfather's names were. You know what I mean? And so we're only a couple of generations removed from being completely forgotten. So I just think over time, with so much greed and power, and certain families being, uh, the most powerful families on the planet, most richest families on the planet, I think a lot of things have been hidden from us. And I think that they've slowly but surely changed history over time. I think, and while you were talking, Kim, I was thinking about the World's Fair and all the structures that we had all
Here.
over. Yeah, for World, and then now they're gone. And they were these most incredible structures ever built.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're no longer here. Bells. How come we don't have bells and bell towers anymore? Real bells. Why did they destroy all the bells? Why are, the energy that we used to be able to get, just free energy from the copper tips of some of these towers, and
Now you're
and
speaking my language.
yeah,
Yeah,
we
the
had
ether,
free
the ether.
energy and
Yeah,
all that stuff, and now
yeah.
we don't have it.
Amber,
Like,
what do you want to share?
No, yeah, I was just Tommy. That's it's everything that we've been told is a lie, basically.
mm-hmm.
And so, but what I keep hearing is this is the creation of all of us collectively, obviously, creating God's greatest game ever. You know, and it's like a little hidden object game, right? And we're here to all just to figure out and remember who we are and to waken from the slumber, waken in God's mind, and, you know, and see it all for what it really is. And it's interesting. I feel like you're saying, like they definitely delete the history, right? And they get rid of all of the history and then recreate a new world, right? Within a couple hundred years. And then floods come, earthquakes, whatever, and then demolish it down again. And then let's recreate it again, right? It's been happening for over 200,000 years, right? It's just, and we keep uncovering more and more of these worlds.
And what's crazy is, like, it's not like they're hiding it slickly. We know that the mud floods came. We know now. Why aren't we being taught this? You know what I'm saying? Because of what you were saying, that greed, and they want all the power, all the money, and they just slowly erase our history so that we're caught in the darkness. You know what I mean? But I know better, and I'm probably...
We're the antivirus. That's why we're here.
Yeah, and I was going to say, I'm probably on 3 or 4 government lists at this point, but, you know, what's one more? What's one more?
No. We're small. We're protected.
We are. And Corey, that's my dream, knowing what the Vatican has. Like, I'd just like to read a list of it, like, or for real, like what is in there. Corey's put it in the chat about that, and it's so fascinating. Like, what all do they actually have?
Oh, and like Tommy said, the Smithsonian, all the giants bones.
Yeah,
Smithsonian has conveniently removed. If you look up ley lines on the internet, the first pieces of information you're going to get is that they don't exist. Well, they're supposedly, you know, whatever, and then you'll get more information. But the ley lines are, I don't know how to. I don't want to say what they are exactly, but they're mapped all over the earth. It's a grid, and then like Tommy said, every major church or building of importance, when they were built, had a spire. I believe I'm saying that right, an iron rod, and that was to connect with the ether, and it was always built on or near a body of water, and the combination of the water, the
mercury,
the structure, and the rod would supply free energy. And that's the same with the pyramid. All the pyramids had a gold oh my God, I know so much about
like a dome, like the
capstone. Yeah, and it does it, but how would electrical companies, how can the control that is in place accept any people knowing any of that stuff and going back to that stuff? Because they would lose. It's like big pharma. They would, you know, nobody wants you to know that you can cure yourself and have free energy, because then the corporations would collapse, not the world, but the corporations. Yeah.
And like the whole things with the bells and the frequencies.
Yeah.
And, you know, look about them shifting the signature of music, the time of the frequency of music, the bass frequency for musical instruments got changed in the 1900s.
And new music is fed a bunch of bullshit frequencies to keep people's brains numb. That's the other trippy thing. Yeah. But yeah, so because bells are used in all ancient practices. So that's a good point that they've been removed.
Yeah, because they knew that the way that the architecture is in some of these giant churches and structures that we have were directly, they've proven that it was made specifically for the frequencies that came out of the bell towers, you know, and it would spread. Like, they weren't churches where we went and we sat down and some guy preached to us, there
were
were
healing.
places that we would go and get healed, you know, and we would get healing from those frequencies.
Yep.
You know, and now they just discombobulated all that stuff. I had
Yeah.
a question for you. It says
Sakara.
in my chat, one of the guys said he has a question for the group. If I didn't mind asking, I don't mind asking. How does the Bible or religion explain people who have died but came back to life?
Like Jesus, like the resurrection?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, and what was that other dude that he brought back to life?
Lazarus.
Lazarus. Yeah, yeah, stuff like that. I mean,
Lead poisoning.
Lead poisoning?
Sorry, I'm making a historical joke.
Oh,
That's what awake is. That's what why we have awake, because people would drink out of lead cups and they would literally pass out for a few days, and that's where awake. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I know that they have bells connected to a
Yeah.
lot of cemeteries because people would wake up.
Yes.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Well, that's what it is. Okay, so I made a bad joke. I think now we weren't there. We don't know if these were Aesop's fables or rumors to control the masses, or powerful stories to keep people engaged. But what I would say, with any major phenomenon, that happens so that everyone that witnesses it understands that there's more to there that there's proof that they can believe. So anyone that can feel frequency healing, anybody that can even just receive a psychic message, when you get proof that you can't understand, and you don't fear it, but you actually allow it to exist, then that opens the door for you to be able to continue with that. And then you start to remember who you are, and you start to trust your multisensory self, and you start to think outside the box.
Right.
So I believe that that's what all major phenomenon is a mass awakening at once. And there are other witnesses around you that saw it too, so you can't say that it didn't happen.
Yeah, there is historical text about it, outside of the word, outside of the Bible. There is historical text to it and stuff like that. I hope that answers your question, Tars. That was good. Good question. He said, damn.
Well, it's true though. Imagine proof happens when people are ready to receive it. Yeah. And sometimes proof happens as a warning for people that are going in the wrong direction.
Well, I know that, like, we were thinking about generational stuff, just think about what our great grandparents and how they practiced, and the food that they ate, and the things that they practiced, and all that hard work that they put in. Like, my family comes from farmers. They were farmers, on my mother's side. And I think about, like, they had to have, there's so many secret remedies that we just don't know about anymore and stuff like that, because they just weren't passed down. Holistic remedies that we could use instead of pharmacy. You know
because
what I mean?
They didn't. Yeah, they could go to the one store in town that compounded powders maybe, and it worked. But thank goodness for people like Amber, who are doing it old school and growing mushrooms and waking up the world. It's called witchcraft now, but it used to be
so crazy.
Yeah, tea bags can cure so many things, yet why would Big Pharma ever want you to know that?
The right combination of herbs can do wonders for you.
Mm-hmm.
Wonders. Ladies, I'm losing weight, and so I had to really kind of educate myself on nutrition and stuff like that. It's just, as old as I am, you would think I would know the basics, and I knew the basics, but I didn't know the things that I really needed to know to be healthier. And that you talk about a rabbit hole, the more you get into it of herbs and different
Chemicals. Yeah.
foods and stuff that we can eat, and how I should be growing all of my food at this point. Uh, like buying food at Walmart should be a crime, at this point, because of all the preservatives and sprays and what's Bill Gates's chemicals
Apples.
are all on it and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You're speaking to the choir, by the way.
no, I know, no, I know. But I brought that up to say the more I researched it and the more I got into nutrition, the more I realized, like, wow, there's so many great, amazing remedies out there for a lot of our most simple things that we take. We go to the pharmacy for, and we go to our, doctors, and they prescribe these incredible, hardcore chemicals for our bodies that are just, it's not made for our bodies, and most of them just mask the symptoms. You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying life-saving medicine isn't not a thing. I'm just saying, as far as health wise, there's a lot of remedies that I think that our great grandparents probably had that we could have learned from, and we just don't have them anymore. You know what I mean? Or you have to do a lot of research to find them.
Like poultices, like boiling garlic and onion and making a poultice in oh my gosh, what's the fabric? It just went out of my head. And then putting it on your chest. Cheesecloth, thank you. And putting it on your chest. Like where'd that go? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, like I know that these 2 points right here, right above your chest, if you rub them and they really hurt, you're coming down with something. And it's good to rub them in that spot on your hand, right here.
Your headache,
to get rid of your head. I like simple things like that, and I don't have to take ibuprofen, really.
Well, luckily I have Amber for all my questions, and so she turned me on to olive leaf extract, and I use that for headaches now and pain, and it is quick and fantastic and affordable. You just get it on Amazon and you don't have to take anything else.
Yeah. I used to, for my back, I used to be on some hardcore pharmaceuticals, and I went to my doctor and I said, I'm done. Like, I'll live with the pain, but I'm not taking this stuff no more. Not this. Like, there's no way this can be good for me in the long run. You know what I mean? And sure enough, my doctor agreed with me and got me off all the pain medications and stuff like that. And for the most part, I just, kind of muster it out or I just do the things that I need to do, like lay on ice and, do static back position and maybe work out every so often, go for long walks that help, and stuff like that, or at least get off my mind. Smoke a lot of pot. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
There's pot smokers on here. It's okay.
I'm kidding.
Hey, that's grown in the ground. That's okay.
Yeah, it's a plant.
Well, Tommy, I just want to say I'm super proud of you, and you have so much awareness, and you're changing the world. Just just being you and your frequency and your beautiful art. Oh my gosh! Like, don't ever stop doing that, please. And your mom's always with you and encouraging you, and she says that you're famous. So, just your abundance, in all of its forms. So even though a society might, think what rich and famous is supposed to be, you have it all, and you're just amazing and beautiful. And I'm just so grateful for you and your journey and where you've come from, and just continuing on. And it's huge. So proud of you. And we're here to support you to continue that journey. So
that's cool. I'll poke my head in every so often for sure. And hopefully stay in touch with you guys, and not just through Kim. And, it's just, I didn't know what to expect out of tonight. you know, and I just, anything Kim could ask me, hey, Tommy, will you go to Tijuana and go get a rock from the river for me? And I'd be like, yeah, I'm on it. You know what I'm saying? Be back in a minute. You know, so
And take Fernando with you.
yeah. And then, you know, to add to 2 more wonderful women into my life
Yes.
is a big deal, you know, and you know, you guys are amazing, and I joke around a lot and I'm real silly, but you guys have been just a pleasure tonight. Just, you know, like Kim said, it's a safe space. So the things that are in my head, I've been able to speak freely about. And you guys are like, you guys, the whole time, everybody's shaking their head and the chat's going, yeah, 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 you know, and it's just really good to know that I'm not, you know, alone on this planet, knowing the things that I know, you know, and
Yeah.
being able to talk with like-minded people is always a plus, you know, always a plus.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you. Hey, real quick. Tiger Paw had mentioned that you should take Diatomaceous Earth. I have some. I'll talk to you about it later, Tommy. But Tiger Paw, what is? She said a shot of ACV for headaches. What is that? Just if you don't mind putting it in there. And now we can go back.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Apple cider vinegar.
yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
you read the code.
magnesium oils will take headaches away instantly. Yeah.
I'll make you a spray bottle. I'll explain that one too, Tommy.
Yeah.
I had magnesium oil in my cupboard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
I have it.
Use it twice a day.
Yeah, I think it's not only for headaches. I think it's for aches and pains too, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Put on your back twice a day at least. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually like an auric shield. It helps protect our light body. It's in people that are really sensitive. It helps like shield your energy from other people's energy too. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll wrap up with this and then I'll be quiet so you guys can wrap it up. Real quick, like, it's so funny that, you know, my mom explained to me when I was younger, and I just got done explaining this to my sister when we were in Dominican Republic, that our life, and this is a simple way to put it, I had to put it this way to my sister, as our lives were givers, you know, and then there's takers out there. And they're very attracted to givers. And we have to be very careful how we give out and who we give out to, because there's takers that'll continue to just drain you, you know? And then you put your foot down when it's, you know, because she was going through something. I said, and if you put your foot down, you can't lose. Either they're going to be that much of a friend that they understand where you're coming from and, you know, they'll change their behavior, or as a taker, they'll realize they can't continue that behavior with you and they'll move on to someone else that they can. And so I know that energy that you give off is real. It's been real, you know, and people come, I've been told my whole life, like, I can either walk into a room. My mom used to say this all the time. You can walk into a room and light it up and just make it a better space, or you can walk into a room and bring it all the way down, you know, depending on how angry or depressed I used to be and stuff like that. And so I know that kind of stuff is real. And I really hope that this kind of a informational podcast that you guys are doing, this kind of thing that you guys are doing, that it reaches other masses than like-minded people. I hope it reaches the people that it opens up their open up their minds and open them up to more of what you guys are talking about, and more of the way you guys live your lives and stuff like that. I hope you guys can touch more people than just people who think like us. You know what I mean? That's
the goal. So thank you for speaking that into existence. You can have us on your show, Tommy, and we'll tone it down.
No, you know, I'm a solo dolo kind of guy. No, I'm just kidding. But you guys, hey, listen, I'll do a paint class for everybody. If you guys want to do a paint class, we'll do a paint class.
That'd be fun.
we could finish a really cool painting in a couple of hours for sure. For sure.
Replace it. What it used to be a stitch and bitch. Now it's a paint glass. That's cute.
Stitch and bitch? What's
Stitch
that?
and bitch. When women would get together and sew and complain,
Oh, my mom did
or
that
tell
shit.
stories. Yeah.
Yeah, my mom had all of her girlfriends over and stuff, and they would sit on the porch and make
Talk
sure that we
shit.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Drink coffee, smoke cigarettes, and knit and crochet and stitch. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Totally. Um, Shannon, did you have anything that you wanted to share before we are done?
No, but I have a quick question.
You
Yes.
Diatomaceous earth. So, what dosage per day? I promised I would ask, and I forgot until now.
I haven't been following anything. I've just been pouring it in. But Amber, what would even ChatGPT was like, you might want to go slow at first, and I was like, nah, fuck it. And I've been fine. I've been, but Amber,
Probably
you
like,
can tell us.
I mean, they do say to slowly, do it. So, but I think like maybe 400 milligrams a day is, a good place to
Okay.
start.
Dawn made little capsules out of it,
Yeah.
and I was like, okay, when we're together, I'll ask. And then Tommy, how long until you finish Mariah? Like, what does she have?
So I say that Mariah probably will take me about another 10 hours. So maybe about like 2 more streams for me. And you guys can watch me on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's Almighty Savo. ALMIGHTYSAVO, just like my tattoo. Savo. SAVO, Almighty Savo on YouTube. And you can come watch me live and hang out and get in chat. Chat's been asking questions and stuff. I just been bending down and quietly answering them and stuff. So, but you can come watch. But yeah, about 8 more hours.
Awesome.
I mean, 10, maybe 10 more hours. It looks like it's finished, but I'm an artist and paintings are never finished. They're just abandoned. So I'm going to put in about 10 more hours of work on it. And I tried to paint while we were talking, but it's very hard. It's very, very hard because you guys are saying stuff and my mind is just firing off. Wow, 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 wow. And I couldn't,
Is that it, Tommy? Or is there 2 L's?
That's it. No, that's it. Almighty Savo. Yep. Almighty because of God, and Savo because that's my nickname.
Okay. And then
that's
what?
My pin name.
Okay. Shannon, one of your friends asked if I sold my oils, and I told them that I would just give them recipes. So if your friends ever want to do a Zoom, I can tell them how I make my stuff, and then they can just make it themselves.
Awesome.
Shannon, do you have more information for Tommy?
Oh, hi, Ann. Oh, go ahead.
The main thing that I have for you is very similar to what Amber said, but you and your sister are getting ready to do something. You've already made a plan. I don't know if it's for dinner. It involves food, but you've already made plans with your sister and something. Your mother is going to send you a sign at this next thing you have planned with you. Are y'all planning dinner anytime soon? Some sort of meal?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
my birthday's on the 30th.
I was gonna wish you happy birthday at the end.
Yeah.
Well, happy birthday, and you're gonna see a little flash of your mom there.
Oh yeah, I need it. Because of the question that I asked you earlier. I don't know if that's my mom talking to me, and telling me I want to deny it. I want to be like, whatever. I'm gonna do it anyway. But I'm really on the fence. And as a grown adult, with adult children, it's a very, I don't want to say scary, but it's kind of a scary place for me to be because I'm kind of like, it's a moral thing. It's a moral thing.
Mm-hmm.
Part of me is like, fuck it. And then part of me is like, don't do it. And you know what I mean? But I have tattoos on my forearms that one says, "Here I am standing, knocking at the door." It's from the Bible when God's knocking on the door, and then the other side says, while the devil sings la la la. You know, it's always a struggle, that good and bad, and you know, yes, do it, no, don't do it, you know, always a struggle with people.
What it just when you make a decision like in discernment, just remember, ask yourself, you know, the question, and then see how your body reacts and how it feels. Does it expand you? Does that decision expand you and make you feel expanded, or does it contract you and constrict you?
Do you feel like you're going to be selling out if you make this decision, Tommy?
No, not at
Okay.
all. No, it's and Amber, I don't want to do that. Okay, listen to me. Okay, I don't want to feel if I'm expanding or not, because I already feel it. You know, the strongest part of me is like, don't do it, don't do it. But then the other part of me is like, the anarchist in me is like, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? Let's
So
get it done,
what
buddy.
feels authentic though? Like what can you be what can when you're laying in bed at night with the only thing you have are your thoughts and your integrity, is it the right can you live with it? Is it the right decision?
And it's, you know, it's not
It's
that
your
simple.
intention, I guess.
Right. I
It's
want
just
to.
whatever your intention is, right? And you're creating it as you go. And so the only thing that has meaning in the world is the meaning you give it. Just remember.
Okay.
And it all starts with our thoughts and consciousness creation.
Well, it came to me. Everything that I'm talking about, and I'm sorry to be so cryptic about it.
No, it's okay.
Everything that came to me in the way that it came to me, it was very organic, very cool. You know what I'm saying? And I had already said that I didn't want to do it, but then all kinds of things started coming to me. So now I'm like, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it, but I'm like conflicted. You know what I mean? So I'll tell you guys off stream.
Okay.
It's fine, not a big deal.
And let us know what happens on your birthday.
Oh
'Cause I
my
think you're-
gosh, I will.
Yeah.
I will.
I keep seeing a place setting and something that you've been waiting for is going to be on your plate. And then I saw
A big steak from the butcher shop?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, then I saw the site like moon cycles, and I don't know what those two have to do with each other. But I keep seeing a place setting. Like, are you going to a restaurant? Or are you going to your sister's?
Nah, we honestly, the plan is to go to we can't go to Dave and Buster's. I want to play video games for my birthday. So there's a restaurant down here, brand new arcade that not Coin Op, but there's another one down on J Street.
I saw that. Yeah. Is it cool?
I just seen it too. It's brand new, and I want to. I kind of want to go there, but I don't know what it's going to be like because that's the same. It's the day before the Rose Bowl, so and there's football on and all kinds of stuff going on my birthday, so it's really hard to go out anywhere. But we have a place that we have been trying to get into for the last 3 years for my birthday. We went there 1 year for my birthday, and we've been trying to get back for 2 years. It's a Filipino restaurant, like a mom and pop restaurant, and they make lumpia.
Lumpia,
and, yeah, and they just serve different kinds of lumpia and some Filipino foods and stuff. It started at a food truck, and now they have a restaurant. And last year we had made reservations. Everybody was ready to go. And the day of my birthday, the kitchen caught fire. So they had to like close. They called us, canceled the reservation. I had a reservation for like 23, and we ended up just going over to my brother's house and having a barbecue and stuff like that. But I feel so bad for my brother and his wife, because we do everything at their house because it's the biggest venue that we have in our family, but I would like to go out and do something.
I see you out like in a setting. So maybe that's what it was when I saw that something that you wanted was going to be on your plate. Then maybe you'll be able to get into that joint and have your birthday where you want it.
Yeah, I'll keep you guys updated. Yeah.
A bountiful lumpia pile on your plate.
Yeah.
And some chicken
Veggie-
adobo if you can get it there. It's good
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. I stopped eating chicken. I stopped eating fowl. I don't eat fish. The only thing that's left in my diet that I'm really struggling with is red meat. And I'm
Beef.
really, yeah, I'm a big beef eater at this point. Bison, I'll eat some bison or something like that. Venison, maybe.
Venison.
Yeah, my brother just he's about to send me some venison sausage from Louisiana.
Nice.
Don't tell Forrest.
No, hell no. And honestly, I forgot who I was talking to for a second. I shouldn't even have mentioned it. Probably get a rap in the back of my head from Kimberly later.
Yeah. Why is shit? There's a rock just went through my window. Who was that?
Yeah.
Nita's murder. What? Yeah.
Yeah. Why is this note saying Nita's murder? How did they know? But again, it was a pleasure.
My tattoo.
Right? Yeah, right? Big vegan tattoo.
Be gentle.
Be gentle.
Yeah.
Aw.
It's okay. I will meet anyone where they're at. And I'm
Meat.
Well, meat, yeah. Broomts.
Yeah.
Kim, before we go, I just want to say your sweater or whatever your top is awesome.
Oh, thank you. Yeah,
It's
it is
very,
cool, huh?
very cute.
Yeah, thank you. I love you can go live, and as long as from the waist up you look good, fantastic. Like I could be wearing boxer shorts. You'd never
Yeah,
know.
I was gonna say, are you wearing your kickboxing shorts or something?
You know, loose sweats, but fancy on the fancier side.
Nice.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I don't typically buy anything that is not yoga attire. I don't do yoga, but not like a completely comfortable workout going for walks attire. But I saw this and I was like, I could rock that. This is kind of
Oh, you're rocking it, sis.
yeah, kind of
You're
cool.
rocking it. You're doing good.
Yeah.
But I don't want to keep you guys. I don't want to keep talking. How long do you guys normally go? About 2 hours?
Yeah, and we're at 2.5. So yeah, I'm surprised if people are still on here. It might be because they fell asleep.
It's typical. It's typical when you have me as a guest to go over because I talk a lot.
That's what this is for.
Yeah, no, but I really do appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for having me. I'll be back for sure and maybe dip my head in every so often to say what's up. And I will definitely keep you guys in the loop with what goes on during my birthday and stuff like that. I'm really looking forward to it. And it's not a big milestone or anything like that. I'm 57, so it's not like 55 or 60 or 50 or whatever. It's like a weird in between. But I did realize I'm now on this side of 60 than I am that side. You know what I mean? Luckily, I look this good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was just gonna say
age is only a number.
Yeah.
Yeah, age ain't nothing but a number.
Black don't crack. Yeah,
that's right. I got a lot of cracking, but my mom was Irish and Norwegian. So. mulatto cracks. Mixed people crack a little bit.
Thank you for bringing Mariah on with you. She's amazing and beautiful, and we appreciate the feminine energy. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. You're welcome.
So speaking of surrounded by women,
it's just like beauty staring at us all.
You should like my apartment. Like I walk through and like I can't. I look at paintings for a while and then I got to turn them around, switch different paintings out, like where they're stacked up all over my loft, right? And I have the ladies out and I have to walk by them every day, and I'm just like, "Ooh, what's up, ladies? Hey!" Like when I'm about to take my dog out,
That's cute.
Yeah.
Tommy has really, really good stuff. Go to his site, check out his warehouse of, I don't know what your collection of art. Yeah.
Sabo. It's the same name. If you want to look at some of my art outside of live on YouTube, you can go to the Block, which is my THABLOCK is my Instagram. And then my website where I sell art is savo888.com. It's my numbers.
No,
This is my name.
888. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That
That's
888.
right.
888 was my address growing up when I was a kid, and 888 has been my number since I was a little itty bitty boy. And then when I started doing graffiti, I started scribing 88, Savo 888. And yeah. And then later on, when I got older, I found out what eights mean. And I was like, okay, that makes
That
sense.
tracks. That tracks. Yeah.
That works. And 11s. 1111 is my number too. I'm about to get that tattooed on me. 1111 is my number. And they told me that it means, not told me, I read that it means like everything is going as planned. Everything is going smoothly. And I see 1111 all the time.
Mhm.
And I now have my sister and I, if she sees it organically, or if I see it organically, we take a screenshot on our phone and send it to each other to remind each other that it's 1111, and that everything in the universe is going the way that it's supposed to go.
Mhm.
So,
At any moment in time, you can reach down and draw a circle around your feet because that's exactly where you're supposed to be.
absolutely.
Rumi. I know I didn't say it right. Awesome. Well, Tommy, this was fantastic. Thank you for joining us. And I think Shannon probably has hours of information to tell you. I feel it percolating.
I do too. I have not been, you notice that I haven't been directing too much to Shannon because I know it's coming out. You know what I mean?
Tommy, my birthday is 8/11, just so you know.
Oh,
So
is
yeah,
it?
I got the 8/11. Yeah.
See,
And I have a
right here.
girlfriend who she has a tattoo on her wrist of 8/11
Oh, wow.
from a Bible verse. And we do the same thing. We screenshot each other 8/11 when we see it.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of sweet, you said Bible verse. There's a lot of funny things in the Bible if you read it. Hysterical, disgusting, dirty,
Oh yeah.
sexual things in the Bible. Like my favorite Bible passage is about a donkey and sex. It's about sex and a donkey.
Okay.
You know that
All
one?
right.
Do you know what I'm talking about, Shannon?
I
Okay.
do.
Yeah. My pastor pointed that one out to me one day. And I said, oh, that's my favorite Bible passage from now. And then you know what I mean? I was like, that's it for me. All right. Sorry.
No, it's
I'll let you
okay.
guys
Okay,
talk.
the one moment I always recall in the Bible that I like the most is when Jesus turns to the Jews, can't remember, and says, if you have not, what is it? He writes in their language in the sand.
Mhm.
If you if you've never committed a sin, oh my God, what's wrong with me? Do you all?
Let he who is without sin cast the first stone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which I don't like the stone part, but I love that was how I love that Jesus always brought self-awareness to people. Like he went straight to it. Like just cut right through it. I don't need to be polite about this. If you've never sinned, go ahead.
Yeah.
But I'm going to phrase this in a way, and it's so rad how he wrote it in their own language. I'm going to phrase this in a way that you have to stop for a moment and know that I know everything. And I still love you, but I know everything. But you need to expose yourself, and there's no room for judgment here on others. I love that. Yeah. And
I always say to people, if you're ever on the fence on anything that you are curious about, if you read all of the direct attributed words, there's nothing in there filled with anything except solid wisdom when it comes from Jesus. The other people, that's a different story.
Yeah.
I don't want to be giving up my spandex or following, all the 8 gajillion rules in Deuteronomy. That's,
mixing fiber.
But the new covenant, it's a different story. It's just really good. Like if somebody was saying these things to you today, you'd be like, okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's how I was taught as an adult how to read the word the Bible was the who's, the what's, the where's, the why's, and the how's. You know what I mean? Who was he
Yep.
talking to? Where was he at? When was this taking place? Because all of it means something, because not everything in the word is directed to Gentiles like me. You
Yep.
know, sometimes they were talking to the pharaohs, sometimes they were talking to the Jews, sometimes they were, you know, like, so you can't like, and it's very specific because pharaohs had their own lifestyle and their own religion and their own laws, and then the Jews had their own religion, their own laws, their own lifestyle. So it's very specific when you're talking or there's something going on in the word to understand when and where and who the hell was it about. You know what I mean? But anyway, sorry. That was
Yeah,
another.
no, it's good. I know. We'll never.
Listen, I'll do this for
I know.
10 hours. I can do it for 10 more hours.
So
I'm that comfortable. I'm good.
All right. I will be the first to say it's time to go because I need to take my doggy out for a walk.
Me too. And you know it's raining, Kim.
Is it?
Yeah,
I
it
love the
started.
rain.
It started about 20 minutes ago. It just started pouring.
Well, raining here means that they purposely designed the red pavers on our sidewalks so that everybody slips.
Oh,
So
that's nice.
Yeah, I feel that's real because they're super slippery when we get out there. Okay, well, I love the rain. I don't melt. I cast a spell. I don't melt, so I'm
That's
safe.
nice.
I'm safe from the rain, from the water.
Monster won't go out in the rain. My dog, my little itty bitty, he's right here. He won't go out in the
His
rain.
little min pin.
Yeah, he's like, nah, I'm good. I'll open the door and go, hey, do you want to go potty? You want to go outside? You want to go potty? And he'll be like, no. He'll get to the door and turn around and walk away.
Oh,
All right. You got
Hi,
your son
Monster.
out?
He
Yeah,
just had a birthday, right?
yeah, his birthday was yesterday.
Yeah.
Christmas.
how old?
He's 14.
Oh,
Yeah, it's my old man, huh? Oh man. Oh, he was asleep. I'm sorry. Let me put him back down. He sits at the base of my feet. He follows me everywhere. Sits at the base of my feet. He's like connected to my hip, you know.
Aw.
here's my guy.
Oh,
He
look
loves you
at
all.
that! Look at it! And what do we got over here? I kept on hearing dogs too.
I don't know if you can see. This is Kiko, my neighbor's dog. Somehow I ended up with him, and he's
Oh no! Is it your dog now?
he's our. It's apparently right now he is.
I
I probably got to
that.
go take him back. They're probably looking for him.
Oh, I love that he just was ready to just lay down at your house too.
Yeah, his owners are out of town, and so and his mom's on the mainland for the last like month, dealing with her dad had an accident and putting him in a home and stuff, and so then the dad went to see his son on Oahu, and so they had some friends watching him, and so you see how that's working out.
Yeah,
Because
they're doing a good job.
they leave him, and then he barks and gonna freak out and jump over the balcony, so I have to go rescue him. But
Aw, well,
he's
thank
so
you.
sweet.
You.
He's old too. He's he's like pretty much blind and can barely hear.
Yeah, Monster bumps into things. His cataracts are getting
Yeah.
his eyes, the white in his
Yeah.
eyes are getting bigger and bigger
That's
and
him.
stuff. And
Yeah.
Kim's got an old dog at home too, huh?
Yeah, Ivy just turned 15.
Wow.
She's still sassy though. She's still doing. She sleeps a lot extra, but she's doing great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Monster
very
sleeps
lucky.
a lot, but outside he's very spry.
Yeah.
He thinks he's the prince of the neighborhood. He prances and he, and looks at people like they should know him. Like, well, don't you know who I am?
Somehow we didn't get a dove flyby today, so I guess they're all busy. Yeah.
Oh yeah, your doves.
Often they'll kind of cruise in and land on me or something when I'm over here, especially during sessions. It's interesting. Or they'll all start crooning.
That heart you have, Kim, is so amazing. Because if I had doves and one of them flew on me, I would poop my pants. I would poop my pants and pass out. just be gone.
No,
they
we
would
all
find me and they'd be like, Tommy, wake up, what happened? This dove flew and it touched me. I don't know what happened.
I don't know what Prince was talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, if it's not a dove, it's a pigeon or a quail or a turtle. Very often a turtle, he'll come out and talk to me. He's home with his two girls. The girls immediately go into forest bed and hibernate. It's a different word for reptiles, but hibernate for 6 months. But Alejandro stays out, and I have to constantly refill his little pool in my bathroom with warm water. He comes over and tells me when he wants more warm water, and then sometimes he'll come out and just like I'll turn around and there's a turtle in the kitchen just staring at me.
But the fact that you called him Alejandro.
Forrest named him Alejandro.
Forrest is fantastic. He's
Yeah.
going to name all the rest of my pets. You know what I mean? Alejandro?
Well, we had a Poncho who they'd had her for 7 or 8 years. Her name was Poncho. And then Poncho laid eggs in Forrest's room. But she already knew her name. And then when Alejandro, he wanted Alejandro to match with Poncho. And then Jen found a turtle swimming in her pool and called me and said, hey, can you take another red-eared slider? And I was like, I already have 2, sure. And so I named her Inca.
Oh,
So
cool.
they're all of Hispanic descent.
Okay.
Her name.
Alejandro, the spicy turtle, M says. Yeah, Alejandro is the best name for a turtle. I couldn't even come up with a better name. I couldn't. Tommy, come up with a better name than Alejandro for a turtle. That one takes it. That one takes it. Forrest is so awesome at that.
Yeah. Yes, Forrest is awesome.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for showing up, for remembering, for making this important, for bringing your energy to this conversation and this chat, and for telling others through sharing our social media posts. That means a lot. We will continue to have amazing people like Tommy on, and Tommy will definitely be back. And we'll carve out a whole third for Shannon just to tell him about himself.
Great. Kim's already planning on me freaking out even more. But Shannon, let me say this. I receive it. I'm going to sit on it. I'm going to really soak it in. Hopefully you get that, you know what I mean? And it really helps with this process. But I don't want, I definitely receive it for sure. And it's going to sit with me for a little bit. So, and then when things start to happen that I really understand, I'll update you guys for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome.
For sure.
Yeah, you can send me.
Shannon's a witch, Kim. Shannon's a witch.
Happy birthday. Hope you have the best birthday ever.
Oh,
yes, happy birthday.
Thank you. Another year on this rotation. So yeah, I'm grateful. Especially because I wasn't supposed to make it past 18, so odds are the way that I was behaving that I'm supposed to be under a prison or in the ground. You know what I mean? So I'm grateful that here it is 57 years later and 3 boys and, 3 kids and a really amazing dog later and great friends, great friends. So I'm grateful. I'm very grateful for everything that I have, and thankful.
Yes.
Yes. All right.
Well, and a big old heap of talent.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, man. Appreciate you. That's how you Southerners say it, right? Appreciate you. All right.
Bless your heart, Tom.
Bless your heart.
Love you guys.
No. Bye.
Aloha.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you. We'll see you next week. Thank you.